Monday morning, August 17th. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Just making sure I have everything all set up here. Everything looking fine, looking fine. All right. Hope everybody had a great weekend. We're back at it with more baseball and coffee. I think we're at like 260 something one of these. But having a great time. The subs have recently jumped up. We're over 14K now, so things are going fast. That's good. That's a good thing. We're headed towards the postseason, and that's, really, from what we did last year, that was the most fun that we had on the show. So we'll watch. We'll do a whole weekend review today. I got a little bit of time. Not really in a rush, so that's a good thing. Let's see what we got here in the chat. A lot of good mornings. Appreciate you guys. Can we watch Tiedemann's debut from Saturday for the Jays? That's an absolute yes. It's short, sweet. We've been waiting on him a long time. He's been injured. He did get the call. Did get immediately sent back, but he did get the call. So that's great. I did have a video up there on Joshua Baez, 3 home run debut. That's done quite well. A lot of people have watched it. Appreciate you here, Steve. Just a crazy debut. So exciting to see what he can do the rest of the way for the Birds. It's another potential piece for them moving forward as they try to come back to prominence. But that was a pretty legendary. Game. Yes, this is a London Series shirt. A little bit of a retro look. This is one of my favorites. So for sure. Brewers continue to make everyone silly by keeping Logan Henderson. Yeah, we should watch him a little bit. He's the man. Great fastball. We finally watched him not that long ago, and then he went and shoved against the Dodgers a little bit. But everybody's great. Can we watch Skubal, please? I would like to as well. I didn't watch him. I know he only had like a 2 strikeout game, and so far the results have been a little underwhelming. So that does demand a little bit of investigations. Can you go over Chase Burns' last start? All right, so we're getting quite a few requests here early, which I love. Spencer Jones or Grisham? I pick Jones. I think I do too, but it's, every now and then Grisham shows you what he's good at. He's just a tough watch sometimes. A lot of empty at-bats, and then a lot of nonchalant fielding with an occasional super clutch home run. Appreciate the GOAT trophy. Thank you very much. Why did Job get rocked? His stuff looked amazing. I haven't watched Job's last game yet. New sub here. Hold on. New sub here. I want to ask about Josh Eknes. We did watch him early in the year. A couple people wanted me to look at him. I think Will, who's one of our Marlins fans, did watch us. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff here. So let me go through it a little bit, and then we'll get going the way we normally do. I know you do Yes Network and ESPN anymore Peacock broadcasts. Yeah, I'm doing Braves, Phillies, Sunday Night Baseball. August, what day is that? I have that written down here. September 6th. September 6th, excuse me. I don't know why I said August. But September 6th. And then I have the very next night in San Francisco, Cardinals, Giants. And then the next Sunday, also in San Francisco, I have Padres, Giants. So I have 3 coming up, and then we'll see what happens after that. Senga's Ghost Fork from yesterday. Do you think you could put Gavin in the Cy Young convo? I don't know. I mean, it's tough because Cease and Schlittler have probably separated themselves, but Gavin's leads the league in strikeouts. So I put him in the convo. Him and Sonny Gray are probably the next guys in the convo for American League. Cease start from yesterday was really good again. Yep. Is Sonny Gray in the Cy Young combo? I think he's in it too. Those are the 4 names right now for me. It's Schlittler, Cease, who are the kind of the front runners. Gavin Williams, Sonny Gray in the American League. Yeah, it'll be curious where they put me in San Francisco. That could be exciting, actually. A lot of good action out there, so I'm pretty fired up for that. I wish I had some games with Joey. Don't know yet. We'll find out. We'll find out as we go, but I'm learning too. I'm learning along the way too. All right, so I haven't loaded anything here. I was still talking to Josh Baez the last time I was on my iPad here, so I need to reload the standings and the coffee cups, and we'll get going here on a Monday. Who's the Brewers' number 2 come October, Harrison or Henderson? Probably be Harrison. They'll probably go right, left, right. Mizorowski, Harrison, Henderson. I was just thinking about this yesterday. The Brewers really cornered the market on four-seam fastballs. Mizorowski probably has the best fastball in the sport. Harrison's got a unicorn fastball, basically. And so does Logan Henderson. So all three of those guys, incredible four-seam fastballs. Cease 6 straight 200K seasons. Amazing. Amazing. All right, let's get into the standings. I see some more stuff in there, but let's just grease the tires here a little bit, and then we'll get into some baseball. All right, Monday, August 17th, in the major leagues. Tampa Bay, American League East, 5.5 up on the Yankees. Yankees are kind of spinning their tires. They can't hit. They're got no margin for error right now in their game. Their pitching staff's doing great, but they're not hitting. It's very similar for a bunch of teams around the league. We were talking about it yesterday in the Discord. There's some putrid offense going on right now. A couple teams that are hitting, though, including Baltimore, who is now tied for the last wild card spot. So at the moment, I believe there's 4 American League East teams in the wild card, but we'll check that when we get there. Red Sox have come back to earth with the 3-7 last 10. We'll see how they dig out of that. They're an interesting case. Did they get hot too early? I don't know. AL Central, White Sox now 5.5 up. Things are trending really well for the Chicago White Sox to win this division. This is the largest lead they've had in a long time. They're about to play the crosstown rivalry versus the Cubs at Wrigley. Detroit's chasing, but they lost 3 in a row. Minnesota's lost 3 in a row. Cleveland lost 1 in a row. So a good time for the White Sox to start winning. And the Royals are long gone. AL West, Houston, 2 up on Texas, 4 up on Seattle. Seattle did just win 2 in a row against Houston. That pulled them within 4, but time's running out big time on the Mariners. Looking at Houston last night, I think they're a little bit light on the pitching, but they definitely... Sorry, AO 1876. I'll check that in a minute. I just got to get my facts right. I don't know. Seattle, I've been waiting on them all year. I'm starting to think it just might not be happening for them this year. So we'll see. We'll see. They got Milwaukee now, so they'll probably get embarrassed here this next series. NL East, Braves, 7.5 up on the Phillies. They had a very mediocre last 10, as have had the Phillies. So that's kind of stuck in the mud. Marlins, they're 3 out. They just had that one losing streak, or they'd be right where they want to be. Nationals are kind of in trouble now. And the Mets are playing their best ball of the year. Not that it necessarily means anything, but they are playing their best ball of the year. I want to check back in on Kodai Senga today as well. Brewers, 5 up on the Cubbies. Brewers just had a tough schedule, but they're still hanging in there 5 above the Cubbies. Cardinals are 13.5 back. So the division's between those two, but the Cardinals are still hanging around the wild card, 2 games over 500. Pirates sinking fast. Reds are, I think, gone. I think the Pirates and the Reds are screwed. That's my opinion on it. I know the Pirates have a run differential, but they got to get hot, and I haven't seen them get hot yet. I wonder when their injured guys are coming back. Definitely something that I think about a little bit. Okay. Next is the Dodgers. So the Dodgers have not played well. We all know that. They've lost 2 in a row now. They're shaky even when they're winning. Kyle Tucker I think he went 0 for the whole homestand, which is crazy. Now they're going to go to Colorado, so hopefully for them at least, hopefully they'll get fat in Coors, but nothing's ever guaranteed when you go to Coors. San Diego's played really well. They've now leapfrogged the Diamondbacks in that situation, and all of a sudden they're coming to life a little bit offensively. They're doing some things. So that's going to be a little bit of a duke it out situation. Let's check the wild cards. American League, yes. At the moment, we have the Rays and 3 American League East teams in the wild card position. Yankees, Red Sox, and Orioles, with the Jays only a game out. Crazy. No idea how this will shake out. There's so many teams in the mix, all the way down to Seattle. So Texas, Toronto, Tigers, Twins, Guardians, Mariners, all those teams. National League. Cubs way ahead. Phillies and Padres are both tied in second and third wildcard position with the Diamondbacks right there. Marlins, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds. Those teams are all going to need a massive win streak probably to push their way back in there. But I think it's going to be tough. A good team is probably going to miss out in the National League. Can't say the same for the American League, but in the National League, a good team will probably miss out, whether it's the Padres, Phillies, Diamondbacks, somebody like that. It's going to miss out on the postseason. All right, let's go to the coffee cups. All right, so we got to cover the whole weekend. Friday, Miguel Vargas won the Cups. He had 2 home runs. Ben Malgeri, Northeastern homie, had 2 home runs. Jack was in there. Pitchers, Burns, Fott, who's somebody we need to talk about probably too. A lot of great outings on Friday. There was a ton of great outings on Friday. Cole, Bieber, Freeland, Yamamoto, Holmes, so many. As for Saturday, the pitchers, Detmers, man, 8 innings, 11 Ks for Detmers. Sonny, who's the wins leader, trying to march into that Cy Young conversation. McGreevy is another guy worth talking about at some point. Batters, Baez, we went over him. Arenado had 2 home runs, although he's on the shelf now, I think. And then from yesterday, Burleson, 3 for 5 with a home run. What a good hitter he is. And the Cardinals really put it on the Cubs. Jordan Walker, 3 for 4. Alec Boehm, 2 for 4 with a home run. Were any 4-hit days yesterday? Just Jake Bowers. And then pitchers, Noah Cameron, complete game shutout. Can I interest you in that? He's been on a freaking roll. 9 innings, no runs, and he's completely saved his season over the last month. Dylan Cease got to 200 Ks for the 6th straight year, even though they lost to the Yankees in that game. And then Logan Henderson, Yuri Perez, Tarik Skubal, Ryan Weathers. I mean, so many good outings from yesterday as well. Prospects over the weekend. Let's see for Sunday. Justin Gonzalez had a 2-homer game. Pitchers. Jonah Tong, 4 2/3, 6 strikeouts. All right, what about Saturday? Ryan Sloan, who's moved up quite a bit. We might want to watch him at some point. 5 2/3, 9 Ks. And that one, Bremner, 4 Ernies, Milbrand, Zazueta, now in Double-A. 4 innings, no runs, 6 Ks. We've watched him on the stream. Going back to Friday, just poking around. Another scoreless outing for Cade Anderson. This guy just doesn't give up runs. Anthony Ianson, now that he's been traded, he pitched finally. Gage Wood, a whole bunch of interesting people coming through this weekend. So let me get in the chat, and then we'll get off and running on who we want to watch. Can I confirm you know how to correct pronounce Caglione? Yes, it's Caglianone, yes. But you know what's funny is that he doesn't even say it that way. So it's just ridiculous. But yes, he is Caglianone if you get it right. But Caglione, it seems like it's sticking and it's hard to get it out of your mind. All right, where to start today is the question. Logan Henderson, all that type of stuff. Bro, I watched that Find the MLB Player. Recognize me after hearing the voice. Appreciate that. How big of an impact do you think the second Tommy John will have on Hunter Green? I mean, it's a pretty big deal because now you don't got any more margin for error with your elbow health. I mean, you don't want 3 Tommy Johns. 2 is pretty much the limit. You don't want to go to 3. He's very young, throws very hard. There's going to be concern there. It's crazy that he blew out twice so fast. Crazy. Really sad. Really, really bad. I am currently very concerned about how the Yankees are playing. I think most Yankee fans would agree with you there. This is panic time because we're coming in on the home stretch here. And if you're not playing well, it's hard to dream on your team. Yankees just in a weird spot where they need a lot of guys back. We'll see. Kyle Tucker getting booed at home. That's what happens. You don't get any hits at home, man. And you're getting paid, what, $60 million or something like that? Crazy. Jays have one of the easiest schedules after the Tampa Bay series. Don't sleep on the Jays sneaking in there. Do you think there needs to be division realignment, especially when they expand to 32 teams in the next 5 years? Yeah, probably. Probably have to do some realignment there. Haven't thought about it much about how I would do it, but yeah, they should probably do that. What are your thoughts on the big man Gonzalez? I mean, he's a big man, big time upside. Justin Gonzalez for the Red Sox. Speaking of Tommy John, rest in peace to Tommy John. Yes, 26 years in the show, Mr. Tommy John. Actually, that's a good place to start. We'll start with him, and then we'll go into an actual game, and we'll start watching some performances. But Tommy John did pass. Wow, did not mean to do that. Tommy John did pass away. It sucks. Sucks. 83 years old. Legend of the game. 61.6 WAR. Obviously, there's the surgery named after him that everybody knows about. And you can see the very big line in the sand where he got the surgery. 1975, Tommy John got the Tommy John surgery, the UCL reconstruction surgery, and then went on to pitch a hell of a lot more after that. So he had already been chucking rocks before that, and then he came back and pitched a hell of a lot more after that, including as a 40-year-old, throwing 234 innings in 1983 as a 40-year-old for the California Angels. Incredible career, 26-year career. I think that's the tied with Nolan Ryan for most service time, most years, major leagues. Pitched 4,700 innings. So you look at Scherzer, he just got to 3,000 innings. Tommy John pitched 4,700 innings. So you just never see stats like this again. These guys just literally went out there and they just kept going and going and going and going and going. For his career, 162 complete games, 46 shutouts. This longevity should probably land you in the Hall of Fame, not to mention the fact that he underwent the surgery that's now famous and has saved many people's careers, including my own. So, big shout out to Tommy John, legendary player. The pride of Indiana State and Terre Haute, Indiana. So, pretty impressive stuff from Tommy. Tommy John. Crazy he's not Hall of Fame. Which surgeon did your Tommy John surgery? Actually, Dr. Andrews, one of the OGs, before he stopped doing them, did mine in 2015. May 7th, I believe. May 7th or May 8th, 2015. Still have my scar, as you can see. But this elbow functioned way better after the Tommy John. Not that I was a better pitcher necessarily after, before, like, because of it, but it functioned really well. It didn't hurt anymore. So that was a pretty good thing to do. Let's see what we got here. Thoughts on Troy Melton? Love him. Troy Melton's great. He didn't have the 5 to 7 year peak voters look for. Yeah, I know. I feel like there's different types of Hall of Fame careers in my mind. You know, there's guys with the big peak. There's guys with the crazy longevity. This guy would be in the latter category. All right, you want Logan Henderson? We'll start with Logan Henderson of the Milwaukee Brewers. This guy, they basically refused to trade him. Otherwise, perhaps they could have had Tarik Skubal. But the Brewers said, no, we're going to hold on to Logan Henderson. We're good with what we got. And so far, this guy's been a revelation in his MLB career. He's 17 starts in now. He's got a .90 whip. That's pretty friggin' amazing. This year, he's 7-2, 2.7 ERA in 12 starts, 63 1/3, 75 strikeouts. He's got good pitches, but it's really about the fastball and the changeup. This fastball is incredible. He averages 17.3 inches of rise. He's not a tall man. He's got a relatively low slot, so this is a very impressive, very flat vertical approach angle fastball pitch that he has, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of that in the start we're about to watch. It was against the Dodgers on the 16th. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Let's go to the player breakdown. 43 heaters, 34 changeups. He's got Bugs Bunny changeup in my opinion. 11 cutters, 5 sweepers, 67% first pitch strikes. He did give up 8 hard hits. 6 of them are on fastballs. But he tends to get really high launch angles on his fastballs. A lot of pop-ups. Did get 50% whiff on his changeup in this game, so that's very impressive. He actually didn't have his best induced vertical break in this game, and it didn't matter. Only averaged 15 in this game on his IVB, although he had more drop on his changeup, so maybe there was perhaps some arm slot variability in this outing. But either way, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Dodgers Brewers from Chavez Ravine. And Logan Henderson. Let's watch this outing. Here we go.
Ohtani leads off and takes a strike.
Good eye, yes, it is an Hermes, like a sport watch. I think H08. That sounds right to me. Good eye there, Michael Hathaway. All right, here we go. 1-1 in. Changeup away to Shohei. Another changeup coming here. He's got a really good changeup. It's an interesting changeup. It's got a ton of break to the right. It's mainly a fade pitch, but he also has does a pretty good job of selling it, I feel like. And the deviation off of the fastball is plenty, especially in terms of the horizontal movement, to give him margin for error. Because then he comes back with a 3-1 heater up to Shohei here, and Shohei can hit this pitch. He can cover this spot, but this still gets above his barrel, telling you that this fastball is real, very real. And then another heater here. This one he misses down. Shohei bangs it to the right side. So leadoff man is on. It's 109 off the bat. And the leadoff man is on. Next up, Freddie Freeman. Changeup coming.
Freddie was 0 for 4 yesterday.
Ball one there.
In his last 17 games. July 26th, the first road trip of the second half.
What do I think about Senga as closer going forward? Well, I think it's great right now, and I think this might be the thing that saves his major league career. Because right now he's learning a little bit about what he can do when he stops overthinking and overanalyzing and just attacks, and also simplifies his mix, which is what you're seeing from Senga. We'll check in on Senga in a little bit. Anyway, this is a fly out on a cutter. 2-1 cutter to Freddie. Don't love this pitch, but he is able to get away with it. Freddie just misses with his location of his barrel there. Flies it out to Choreo. So a single and a fly out. Here's Pages.
First one from Henderson.
Four seam dotted away. Yeah, we'll go to Ryan Weathers as well today and the Cease game. We got some time today. So 2 painted heaters away. Here comes a third one. And all 3 are painted away. I mean, what a weird at bat by Pages. Let's watch all 3 of these pitches in very fast succession. First pitch, dot. Second pitch, dot. And third pitch, dot. So clearly Pages looking for the ball to start somewhere else. And, you know, it's often been said if a pitcher can paint you 3 times in a row, you tip your cap. So maybe that's a tip your cap situation for Pages. But 3 fastballs, 3 strikes. All right, Muncy. Changeup down. Changeup coming again.
Let's go over 1-0 pitch.
Ooh, nice swing. Tipped foul.
Want him on the team, and then all of a sudden you get to the trade deadline and people are asking for him.
Change up here. I mean, I could ask Billy about this. I talk to Billy every now and then. It's a good question here. Great change up there by Henderson. It just has so much run on it. This is 20 inches of run on this pitch from Henderson to Muncy. Look at this ball sail to the right. And he just reaches and can't quite cover it. Anyway, on this question, I'm not really sure about what Billy thought, but when you come over from Japan, there's always a little bit of like, what if this goes wrong? Maybe we can use them in different types of roles, and then maybe they want to be protected if that's the case. Reliever of the year protection, more money. So it all just gets going there just to cover all, you know, potential things that could happen. All right, so that was the first inning. What did we see there? We saw he really locked it in the last 2 batters. The first 2 he was a little shaky, then he locked it back in. So here's Mookie to lead off the second. Fastball strike. Here comes a cutter. Yeah, he sure did throw 5 straight changeups. I think with Muncy, there's a little bit of fear sometimes throwing that fastball. Muncy can really handle that fastball.
Just 1 of 9 against Milwaukee. Quickly down 0-2.
And then a heater up and away. Mookie pokes it out to right. This was a good protect swing from Mookie. I like when Mookie takes the singles to right field because I do think the more of these he gets, the more it influences a pitcher to try to pitch him a different kind of way than just a way, and then that's when he can do damage, when he can pull balls. So, pretty good pitch, pretty good swing. Leadoff man on. Change up down ball. I swear pitching is an art. You know, there's science in there, but I think in the moment, there's quite a bit of art that see, to me, that's kind of what you see. And I thought about this last night when I was watching the Sunday Night Baseball game last night, Houston and Seattle. To me, baseball is a skill sport that your physical ability kind of sets your ceiling within those skills. Without the skills, I think you're cooked. However, modern baseball with all the physical measurables and the measurables of the physical side, I know I just said that twice. To me, it's kind of, they've almost tried to turn the game into a physical game. Like, if you don't have the certain physical ability, then we're not going to trust your skills to hold up. And I think that's a little bit wrong. But that's kind of where we're at right now, and that's why you see so much turnover. All right, another good change up there. Tucker, another weak fly out. All right, Tommy Edman, first pitch fastball. And he's going to ground it. That's going to be 1 and 2, double play. So not a big ground ball pitcher at all, but he is able to get one right here. And for whatever reason, that ball just had no induced vertical break. 11.9 inches of induced vertical break. That makes me wonder if this is actually a four-seam fastball. Or if this is like actually a two-seam or something. I can't really tell from the grip. But this ball behaved differently than his other fastballs, and it ended up being a good thing. Got the double play. Nice turn by the Brewers middle infield. Third inning. If you throw 5 changeups in a row, doesn't the fastball technically then become the changeup? Yeah, that's one way of thinking about it, for sure.
Hernandez has got a hit in all 3 games in this series. Cuts and misses.
When you're attacking hitters on a long cold streak like Tucker, how does it change your approach? Are you somewhat on cruise control? I think you're always aware of what a great hitter like Tucker can do, but you also know he's in a funk. And so you're looking for some sort of signal that he's not in it, and until then, you're just attacking the crap out of him. Usually there's one thing or another thing that the league has sort of unlocked when a guy's in a crazy funk. You just try to follow suit. All right, here's the first sweeper of the game from Henderson. He had been pitching all fastball changeups on a little cutter, and now he's going to expand here on the sweeper to Teoscar. He hasn't seen that shape yet. Swings at a horrible pitch, so nice pitching there. Now Rortvet, first pitch fastball up, pop up. Now this is a typical Logan Henderson batted ball. It's just a fastball up that they don't quite get to in time to get on top of it. And they pop it up. And it's a really easy out with almost no expected batting average. So that's another reason why Henderson's so good. He gets a lot of these easy outs. All right, next up, Shohei. Back to the top of the order. Shohei singled the last time on a fastball down. So forced him away. Here's another heater. Ooh, huge hack. Doesn't quite get to that. 0-2. Now to the changeups. Off the plate, away, take. Fastball up and away, target. Gets it there, take. And now he's going to punch him with the changeup. Let's see if he starts this down the middle. Yes, that was the key. He has so much run on his changeup that you got to think about it like visually. If you're pitching with this level of run, he's got 19 inches on this one. You could almost have to start it. Man, is my I think my pencil might be dead. That's a shame. You almost got to start it like way in here. If you don't start it in there, if you start it any further away, it's going to be an easy take because it starts running so fast out of the hand. Hold on, I'm going to try to charge this pencil. There we go. So I think that's what happens here. He starts it in the proper lane, and it just runs away, and he gets the reach and wave. So I think the changeup's plus. I think the fastball's kind of plus based off of all the characteristics that it has. All right, here's Freddie, 4th inning. Changeup strike. Hey, when you say expand, do you mean going out of the strike zone or showing a new pitch type or something else? Expand, I usually mean going out of the strike zone, like looking to get the guy to swing out of the strike zone. Expand the area in which he's willing to swing. And, you know, it's not as simple as, oh, the guy just made a bad swing decision. You usually have to lead them in the right direction, either speed him up, get him in swing mode, or sell it that it's going to be a strike out of the hand so that when it starts to trend out of the zone, they've already committed the swing. That's what he did on that changeup that we just watched the Shohei. Anyway, here's Freddie. He's going to line out on a fastball here. It's actually a really good swing, but it's right at Choreo. Did a good job kind of getting to that fastball. All right, 1 out. Here's Pages. Remember, he took 3 heaters on the outside corner last time. Cutter up, fouled back. Here's another cutter. I kind of like cutter off the fact that... So what they're doing here with cutter is first at bat, he took 3 heaters right here on the outside corner. It's a terrible drawing. So now the idea is start it there. He's going to go after it because he doesn't want to take those again, and then run something a little bit more off the plate. That's the idea with the cutter, at least. And at least for the first 2 pitches, it kind of plays out. Now to the sweeper is a beautiful choice off of that. Try to get him to expand. Really good location, down and away. Race to the bag. Henderson's going to win that. So I thought that was really good pitching. And you can see how the first at-bat played into the second at-bat there. All right, 2 outs, nobody on for Muncy. Change-up away ball. He struck him out with a change-up the first time. Here is a 4-seam up. Weird challenge from Gary. That's going to be a ball. So 2-0, change-up, Muncy. Not going to miss it this time. Kaboom to right. So, you know, the first at-bat, he showed him 5 change-ups in a row. We talked about it, and it worked. Second time, not so lucky. This is one of the things about Max. Just incredible at, you know, understanding what's coming, being able to adjust, sit on it, and not miss it. This changeup pops a little bit in, probably the exact lane that Muncy is looking for. Settles down the middle. He's able to crush it out for a home run. I don't think he hit it particularly hard. I'm just going to guess like 101. Yeah, 101.6, but nevertheless, it is a solo shot. If you're Henderson, the mistake here is falling behind in the count, but you can probably live with the home run. All right, next batter, Mookie Betts. Now it's a 1-1 game. First pitch, changeup in. That's a ball, and now a 4-seam. They're probably going to try to keep it away. Misses up and in, but it's a really good miss, particularly with the plane of his fastball. And that's popped up the short for an easy out in the end of the 4th. On to the 5th.
Same thing. What are we talking about?
Tucker Edmund Hernandez coming up here, down 2-1. Anderson.
Yeah. This was Pajes. Struck out on 3 takes and said not again, and then he got out on 3 swings.
50 pitches at this point. He 10 runs his last 3 starts. Home run.
So here's Kyle Tucker. Fastball down. Did he even hit that hard? Yeah, 104.1, and he grounds out. He just can't buy a hit. Even when a guy makes a mistake and he hits it relatively hard, it's right at somebody. This is a bad pitch by Henderson, but he does get away with it. You can even see Henderson's reaction. Henderson hates this pitch. He meant to go up with it. You see, he's like, that was such a bad pitch. Oh, the famous beach ball out there in Dodger Stadium. So he knows he missed his spot, but he got away with it because right now you can pretty much throw anything up to Kyle Tucker and get away with it. All right, here's Tommy Edman. 4-seam dotted away. Thoughts on pitcher starting on first base side of the rubber to create angle to batter. It's perfect for Henderson because Henderson has so much run on that changeup. So he needs to keep his hand position a little bit closer to a left-handed batter so he has all that plate to work with for his ball to fade away. So for him, it makes all the sense in the world. And everybody tries to set up in a different location on the rubber based on what their stuff is trying to accomplish. Henderson, it makes perfect sense, and you see it right here. Great example of it right here to Tommy Edman. He's on the first base side. He wants to throw this pitch for chase or expand like I was talking about before. He really just wants to get it right over here into this shadow zone. But in order to get into the shadow zone, where does he have to start it? If his run on the pitch is 18, 19 inches, then he needs to start it like probably this far in, if not further in. And the only way you're going to be able to start a pitch in that line to end it down and away is if you're way over here on the rubber. If you're on this side, all of a sudden that same lane is going to end up way over here. So that's the reason why you do that, and that's a good question. Anyway, there's the changeup that works again.
Off balance swing, pop up on the infield.
Appreciate you guys. I love doing the show. Appreciate you. All right, next is Teoscar. He punched out on a sweeper the first time. Here comes a cutter. Off the end of the bat. Another race to the bag. Another one won by Henderson. This is a very poor at-bat by Teoscar. Teoscar's been pretty lousy this year, huh? I haven't really paid much attention to him specifically, but he just hasn't been the same, I don't think, right? All right, on to the 6th, and it's Rortvet. Change up away ball. Yeah, he's been terrible, huh? Appreciate you, Quay.
Is 1-2 to Rortvet with Ohtani waiting on deck.
Ooh, and then a really good changeup down. Now, he doesn't have the droppiest changeup in the world, although this one had a little bit more drop on it, only 4 inches of induced vertical break. So he doesn't typically get a lot of these, what you expect, chase areas on his changeup. His is more the fade away, but this is a good one where he starts it down in and gets it below zone and gets a, you know, a pretty perfect level of chase here from Rortvet. This is an unhittable pitch, so Henderson rolling. Kid's good, man. This kid's really good. I don't think it's a fluke. All right, third time through versus Shohei. Backdoor cutter, first pitch. Huge miss, pulls it in, but he swings anyway for a foul ball. Now change up off that. Going to try to start it in running away. Too far off. 1-1. Now to the fastball. It's one of his better fastballs of the day at 94.5. Wow. Blows it by him in the danger zone. I can't believe he got away with this pitch. Shohei just underneath that. Unbelievable. How did he not hit that? That's insane. All right, 1-2. Another fastball here. This one's 95. Now that was a good location. It's a really good swing by Shohei anyway. Just happens to go right at Choreo. But this was dotted down and away. Like, this was actually a good location. I think he probably would have preferred it up. But he did hit his spot there. So that's 2 outs. And now it is Freddie. Backdoor cutter attempt, ball. Change up here. Swing and miss. The changeup is plus, man. It really is. And now the fastball. They should go up in target. They do. Gets it there and jams Freddie. That's great pitching. After you get him to dive a little bit on the changeup, even though he misses it, check out the body energy of Freddie on the changeup. Steps in. You see, it's everything. He misses it, but then the weight is pulling him over the plate. So now his energy is this way. So now when he switches to fastball, up and in makes all the sense in the world. You see the target? What this does is it takes advantage of that weight coming over, diving for the outside corner. So the up and in target is there. He executes it. Freddie's diving, and he almost jams himself. So just a perfect pitch. Perfect pitch there to end the 6th. All right, 7th inning as the kid is still rolling. Here is Pages. Fastball in ball. Fastball up, swing and miss. Fastball up, take. Another challenge that they're wrong on. So those were the 2. They lost them both on high pitches. Cutter away ball, 3-1. Here's a foul ball challenge heater to Pages. Now he does have a little more margin here because he got a 3-run lead. Gets the chase above the zone. Beautiful. And then he's going to walk him. First walk of the day. Start off the 7th inning. And here's Muncy, who homered the last time. So that's not what you want to do. Wow, interesting. Goes right back to the changeup. Homered on a changeup last time. Starts him off with a changeup here. So Muncy probably thinks, oh, he's going to come with the fastball now. The cojones on him to go back to the changeup is beautiful. Forcing him down close, but they have no challenge. Another heater here. Also, he's maintained his fastball well. It seems to me like he doesn't really let it eat on every pitch. He can be 92, 93, and then he can go 94, 95 when need be. This is a perfect location. 1-2, and now he's going to try to repeat that a little further away. He does. Pretty good swing. But he's gotten a bunch of these where they're just a little late on it. They don't quite collide on it enough, and they fly out to left. So 1 out there. Muncy did also fall down on that pitch. And here's Mookie. Check swing, foul ball on the cutter. Sweeper coming here.
4 to 5 to 6 runs a game, kind of.
0-2, and then swinging strike on the changeup. Wow, right on right changeup. Dirty pitch. Little backdoor changeup. Mookie dives, runs out of time, swings over the top. Dirty pitch here. So really recovered from the leadoff walk here in the 7th to throw pretty well to Muncy and to Mookie. And now he's going to finish his outing with this 11 pitcher versus Tucker.
They've only gotten more over the second half.
Changeup, swing and miss. Changeup coming again. Ball.
Part of the equation is the pitching rescues.
Would you have put Henderson in a deal for Skubal? I think that'll be one of my poll questions tomorrow. So, I mean, if I had been around Logan Henderson more and maybe I had more of a reason to value him in a special way, maybe not. But I'll be honest, I probably would have put him in the deal. Because to me, this is the Brewers' chance. And more than anything, I want to keep Skubal away from the Dodgers. Obviously, getting him, there's a steep price to pay, and they weren't willing to pay it. I think I would have just taken the leap anyway and maybe call me crazy. But I think this is their chance this year, and I would have wanted to keep Skubal away from the Dodgers. So I probably would have made the leap, and maybe I would have been wrong to do so, but I probably would have went for it. Good question, though, Carl.
Tucker battling.
Get something tired right here in the middle of the
I'm going to watch Noah Cameron today. He's demanded the attention, so we'll get him there. The Brewers are 41-21 over 500 teams. They play that brand of baseball where they're really tough to face. This is a great way to end your outing here too. Just 7th inning, full effort on a 3-2 changeup. He's probably out of the game after this batter. Hunts it down and takes it to the bag, and he is juiced. This might be a nice visual here. We'll see what we get. Man, nice effort. Nice hustle. Really nice hustle. I want to take a quick look at Logan Henderson delivery from the side. He threw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball here to Shohei. Here it is. He starts preloaded, pre-turned into the hip. Back hip. So he's pre-cocked. Comes down, gets into this seated position right here. Look at that recoil pattern. Very interesting recoil pattern right here. Almost like jumps out of it. But, man, I don't know. We've only watched them twice, but you can see the fastball and the changeup are both like, they're like super plus pitches. They just are. Like, they're really good. They're going to work versus righties and lefties. He gets a lot of weird contact. I think the cutter and the sweeper could be better, you know, certainly. But at least at this point, he hasn't really needed it. Let's see what Stuff Plus has to say about his pitches. They have his fastball as 112 rating. That's really good. That's a really good fastball metric, especially in today's game with below average velocity. That just shows you the approach angle, everything that he's got working with him with that fastball is really special. They actually have his changeup as being below average. I'm just going to say I disagree with that, but I don't care about Stuff Plus on changeups too much. Cutter below average. They have slider above average. He does have a pretty good sweeper. We saw a good one in Teoscar, but he doesn't use it a lot. So kind of a weird pitcher to break down. But he's been nothing but great this year, really. I mean, look at the percentile rankings. Expected ERA, 95th percentile. Hard to do that as a starter, guys. Really hard. Only 5th percentile ground balls, so it's all weak fly balls. But I'm really enjoying him. I'm wondering how long he can keep it up because he's been so consistent. Game logs on Logan Henderson on the year. His worst outing of the year is 5 1/3, 3 runs. If that's your worst outing, you're giving a team a chance to win every time. So, I guess he had a two-inning, 2-run game early, but that's like not a start. So hard to care about that. This last one was his longest outing of 7 innings. So he's been impressive. He's been really impressive. Let me just go quickly into the chat, and then we'll watch Skubal because he pitched in this same game. Yeah, I mean, I know people are going to disagree with me. I just I wanted to keep Skubal away from the Dodgers if I was the Brewers. I know so far Skubal hasn't pitched perfect yet for the Dodgers, but that would have been my thought process in this situation. And also, it's like for the Brewers, at some point you got to take the leap to go win the World Series. I understand you lose the trade on value. I get it, but again, I mean, I would have been pretty tempted to do it, but I also didn't have an intimate knowledge of Logan Henderson until recently. All right. The key is keeping away from the Dodgers, a team you have to take down in the playoffs. To me, that was kind of the big thing. But, you know, I don't know. How do they measure Stuff Plus? Is it more results-based or movement-based? It's not results-based. It's pretty much all, you know, angles, velocity, ball flight, movement, release heights, a million different things that go into it. And then they kind of cross-reference that against expected outcomes so they can kind of understand what plays and doesn't play. There's a lot going on with Stuff Plus, but that's why I don't care that much about changeup. His changeup may be at the top of the game once he's in the league more elite pitch. I agree, too. That's why I didn't care about that Stuff Plus number. Still averaging just under 5.1 innings on a start in his career, but there appears to be progress made in that regard. Yeah, and like that's just kind of the way that they do it. You know, it's kind of the way they do it. All right, let's head back over to this game because in the same game, Tarik Skubal also pitched, right? They actually matched up against each other. Yes, they did. So here's Skubal's most recent start versus the Brewers. I think I'm wrong. He had seven strikeouts in this game. 6 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts. This has been his games so far with the Dodgers. He's pitched 3 of them. Versus the Cubs, he went 6 innings, 2 runs. Versus the Royals, he went 5 innings, 3 runs. We watched that one. That was a little bit wonky. And then this one versus the Brewers, 6 innings, 2 runs. He hasn't had that dominating shutdown game, but I don't think he's pitched bad by any means at this point. So let me go look at his player breakdown, and we'll run through Skubal's outing. 42 changeups with 50% whiff. Hard to blame you for doing that. 36 fastballs, 15 sliders, 14 sinkers, 2 curves. 85% first pitch strikes. I mean, he did a lot right in this game. Again, though, Brewers can be tough regardless because they're just very opportunistic. So, okay, back to this same game, and we'll just switch sides and head to Tarik Skubal, and we'll run through Skubal. All right, here he is.
Hey, you know, once you stop having nerves, that means you're done. Strike 1 on William Contreras.
How much does pitching after Miz benefit Henderson? Truthfully, I'd like to have Harrison in between them to break it up a little bit, the righty-lefty thing. I don't think he would benefit a lot because Miz is way nastier, so it's like you're a less nasty version of him with the 4-seam. But there's differences there. Certainly the changeup. So I'm going to say it's pretty negligible difference. Anyway, changeup up the middle, base hit from Contreras. We're oddly batting leadoff in this game, and here's Luis Lara. Changeup foul ball. I think Skubal has gotten a little unlucky in his Dodger starts. Yeah, let's see about this one. If you were to add a pitch, is that something you would do on your own in the offseason or get with the coaching staff? You could go either way nowadays. I mean, the coaching staff usually have like these end-of-the-year meetings. There's an 0-2 changeup, so pretty heavy changeup usage here right off the bat. Fly out to center. Here's Choreo. You could have a conversation with them and go about it that way. You could even train with the team in the offseason. A lot of people do that. Or you can do it on your own. I mean, really, there's no one way to go about improvement these days in MLB. You see a lot of people doing stuff in the private sector with coaches and things. And you see a lot of people in cahoots with the team. Bottom line is, if you do good, that's a good thing. If you do bad, you're probably better off working with the team. But either way, you won't be forgiven for doing bad. All right, changeup down ball. Yeah, tons of changeups, but it is his best pitch. Fastball there, that was a mistake. Almost got clipped. Choreo just misses a 2-run shot down the line, so changeup makes sense here. Here comes another one, and he gets him. Yeah, so the previous swing told him everything he needed to know. Goes changeup, gets the strikeout. So far, everything has been on changeup, the hit and both outs. First pitch sinker to Bauer, stays on it, shoots it through the hole. They had him, what, up the middle here? Just kind of hits it where nobody is, so that's a base hit. So 2 hits in the first. Here is Andrew Vaughn. Changeup swing and miss. Changeup coming again. Good take that time. And now fastball to probably move it up and in. They do, and he pops it up. Really good locations there. And I thought Skubal threw the ball well in this first inning. All right, second inning here.
To the second we go, Gary Sanchez taking a changeup.
Changeup again. El Gary. 4-seam up and in. You see what he wants to do with righties. Changeup down and away. 4-seam up and in. If he gets take on that, then or swings off the plate, then he's got sinker front door as well. A little bit of backdoor slider, a little bit of back foot slider. That was a mistake down the middle, but he got away with it. So it's not like complicated what Skubal does. It's just really hard to solve because he's pitching with multiple levels of speed, both sides of the plate, reading swings really well. This is another great changeup. So changeup's been amazing here to start off this game. That was nasty. All right, next. I don't think Skubal's a good teammate. Tigers have been better without him. I mean, it's a small sample, and everybody loves Tarik from what I know of. So I think it's just a coincidence that they've played better without him. And the fact that they have other good young pitchers. But I don't think we can speculate on him as a teammate yet. I haven't heard anything negative around the league, but I see what you're trying to put together there. All right, falls immediately behind 3-0 here. Comes back to 3-2, and he's going to end up walking him on a combio. Just barely pulls it in. So Lockridge is on. Here is Joey Ortiz. Change up again. Swing and miss. Man, hella change-ups. I think he threw 40-something change-ups. Yeah. I read it all. Tarik did a lot for arbitration. Yeah, pretty much anybody that's 5 years of service time going into ARB now is certainly going to pull out the Skubal argument that they can compare themselves to any contract around the league, and now they got some basis to win now. See, I talked about how he throws both the 4-seam and the 2-seam up and in towards righties. This is the 2-seam, and then he gets that little lift up above and swing and a miss. So, nice pitch there. Fastball up, swing and miss. This is Ornelas. Fastball up, fouled off. Just throw another one. Yeah, 98. Only thing is, he gets a hit. So I said throw another one, but that one was a little bit too hittable, and a good job by Ornelas to get the hit. That's going to make it a 1st and 3rd situation. So even when they're not scoring, like to this point, they're 2 outs and they haven't scored, they're still making them work. They're not making it easy on them. You see guys with some nice contact strokes, and that sets up a big at-bat with Contreras. So batting him leadoff kind of pays off because you get him up here in a big spot. Slider strike taken all the way. 4-seam up ball. Another heater coming. Pulls it in. Sinker now. 3-1. So 3-1, he's definitely going to go to the changeup now. No doubt about it. Pretty good one there. Got to throw another one, I bet. Oh, no, fastball. This is surprising. In off the plate, gets the swing, gets the weak pop-up. And it's just going to land foul. They go for the up and in freeze. Perfect pitch. Good swing, though. Now changeup. And a walk. So great at-bat by Contreras. Again, the Brewers, they don't come out of the strike zone very much. They're very opportunistic. They're great with runners on base. This is a great take by Contreras. This changeup's been undressing people all year. Great take. That's going to set up a 2-out, bases loaded situation for Lara. Changeup, swing and miss. 4-seam coming up in. Misses middle, taps it foul. So 0-2. Slider, got to get it in the dirt. He's not going to get it there. Little dinker, here comes Mookie. And a dropped ball by Edman. So very unlucky here by Skubal. First Skubal, he worked very hard here. Gets a very weak contact from Lara here. This should have been an out. Very rare to see Edman make any type of error at all. But to me, he just takes his eye off the ball a little bit and misses it. And that's a free run. That sucks. All right, next up is Chourio. Changeup coming here. Ball, and then he's going to get him out. This was a huge at-bat to limit the damage. Really good location there, up and in. He gives it a ride, but it's not going to have enough. Pajes hangs in there under the sun, makes the play. They end up stranding the bases loaded, but they do get a run, and they made him throw like 45 pitches. So tremendous job by the Brewers there. 3rd inning. First pitch, sinker, strike. Slider coming here. And another leadoff hit. I mean, every inning's been so frustrating. I'd be frustrated if I was him. All right, Vaughn, backdoor slider. Strike, sinker down and away, looking for a ground ball. Now they're going to have to go in probably. They're going changeup. I don't think he's going to chase it. Yeah, he didn't chase the sinker, not going to chase the changeup. 2-1, slider backdoor. Good pitch, gets the ground ball. That was the best pitch he's made in a while. Really good reading right there. Needed to go backdoor with the sinker after those 2 takes. I mean, backdoor with the slider after those 2 takes. This is a perfect pitch. Vaughn's a little out in front of it, gets it off the cap. So, very frustrating outing, I would imagine, up until right here where he's able to get this double play and take a deep breath. All right, back to Gary.
So the base is wiped clean, 2 out, and Gary Sanchez.
Slider, huge hack fouled off, and now sinker at 99. Up in. It's going to pop him up, so the double play was everything there. Freddie with the over-the-shoulder catch, very nice. 4th inning.
Tommy pitched until he was 46 years old.
Did you already do Logan Henderson? Yeah, right before this. He was the first pitcher we did.
Relating to a veteran who pitched so long and who was on other teams, but got to see him every once.
All right, 0-2 on Lockridge. Oh, they're talking about Tommy John.
It was a curveball.
And he's going to get him with a changeup. Another pop-up. So starting to roll here a little bit for Tarik. Sun looks like it was tough today in L.A. Yesterday in L.A. All right, Joey Ortiz. Fastball fouled off. Who's the best pitcher at the moment? I think it's Mizorowski, guys. I just do. I think it's Mizorowski. Change up, swing and miss. So I told you, started to get rolling here. That was beautiful. 3-pitch strikeout. Now here's Ornelas. Ornelas singled on an 0-2 fastball up the first time. Good. That's a good fastball there. 1-1. Here comes the changeup. I'm not on Twitch. Is there any advantage to streaming in 3 places? YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. Is there any advantage for that? I'm not really sure. Because I could add him in. I could loop him in somehow. First curveball of the day tapped over to Muncy. And the 4th inning was his best inning so far. Really good inning there for Scoobs. On to the 5th. Nah, just more money for me. Well, I'm not really making any money right now. More platforms means more viewers. Yeah, bro, reaching more audiences. All right, maybe we'll make a Twitch and we'll see where we can do it. Changeup popped up. Another easy out. So he's really been cooking the last 5 batters. Not really. Twitch doesn't have too much discoverability. See, when I looked on the internet, they were like, you probably don't need to do Twitch yet. YouTube's probably the best setup for you, along with TikTok. But I'll continue investigating it. I'm not opposed to streaming in 3 platforms. All right. It's going to be a 3-1 count here. So Luis Lara, ground ball to second. Edmund takes care of that, and that's 6 batters in a row. Slider to Choreo, backdoor paint. He's really, really rolling right here. You can see the first pitch strike qualities. Really, really good. I also really like Tarik's pants. I know that they're a little weird, but I got to imagine the tight ankle that he has at the perfect location there just feels good. Like there's no extra pant in the way. And those cleats are really nice, too. Finally got all his Dodger-themed stuff going. All right, 3-1 Choreo challenge heater. Good location away, swing and miss. Gonna try it again. This time it's not gonna work. Great swing by Choreo, good adjustment. That's gonna be extra bases. Surprised he didn't get a triple on this. Not that you need to make the third out at third, but he's fast enough where I thought he was gonna get a trip, but ends up getting a double. Great swing here. Beautiful job going the other way here by Jackson. So man on second, 2 outs. I've talked about how the Brewers, they seem to be very clutch in these moments. Let's see how they do right here. Man on second with 2 outs, Jake Bowers. He got a hit on a sinker the last time. Change up strike. Got to have a nice fitting pair with that leg kick. I agree. What's the best way to attack a pitcher like Scoob as a batter? So for me, I wouldn't try to chase him around a lot, guess pitch to pitch. I would more so take the approach of what is he actually throwing in zone. And really, it's fastballs. I mean, changeups are mostly for chase, so I would try to eliminate. If I'm a right-handed hitter, I'm trying to eliminate anything starting middle away from me, and I'm looking for stuff to start middle into me, and I'm trying to jump on the fastball. Way easier said than done, though. Way easier said than done. Change up, down in, left on left. Bowers is going to do it once again. I told you, the Brewers, they don't need a lot to score against you. They just need that one opportunity. Left on left. Bowers now 2 for 2 off of Skubal. We should really replay this whole at-bat. So let's see how this all happens. Left on left change up, strike. 4-seam, target is up middle. Little brush back. Now sinker, backdoor. Just misses for 2-1. Back to the changeup. So if you're Bowers right now, you're thinking to yourself, when the chips are down, he's going to his changeup, right? Even though he gets the swing and miss on this one, perfect pitch. I think you file that away in the back of your mind and you say, you know what, he wants to get me out with a changeup. I have to be aware of how to get underneath the changeup in this spot. Now fastball up, ends up missing down. I think that's why it doesn't get by him. He's able to spoil it. And then, yeah, you would think off of this line, you start a changeup down, you're going to get chased down. That's what he's thinking. He goes changeup, but he doesn't get it quite down enough. Leaves it in a hittable location. Bowers gets under the changeup, flips it into right field. I think the mistake there was not making a fastball up executed. Because, like, if you're a lefty, it's a little tougher. Again, I talked about what I would do if I was a righty. If I'm a lefty, I think I'm actually looking middle in, down in. That's something I can do damage on. But it's all so much easier said than done against a guy like this. Anyway, great job by Bowers. Clutch hit there. Gives him another run. That's the second run. Here's Vaughn. Fastball up, ball.
Only 2 runs allowed.
Ben Rortvet is catching Skubal in this game. If Dodgers don't win World Series, time to bring up the outfield prospects, say goodbye to Teo and Tucker. Well, they're not going to be able to say goodbye to Tucker, right? He's got player option, so there's no way he's opting out. He's going to opt in. So they're not going to be able to get rid of Tucker. But the young guys, you're going to see them sooner rather than later, and I'm talking about DePaula and Sirota for sure, as well as I think Montero's coming as well. This is a good swing by Vaughn. Remember, I said I would be looking middle in fastball if I'm a right-handed hitter and try to jump it. That's what he does there on the 2-1 count. So now 2 on and 2 out as they continue to make this a tough outing. Change-up, swing and miss. Another fastball here. Good pitch there. Good take there. He's going to try it again, and this is going to get him through the 5th. I actually think he's thrown really well. I don't think he's thrown bad at all. I think it's more just the Brewers have been very opportunistic in this game. Couple of 2-strike mistakes. So he does go back out for the 6th, despite starting this inning over 90 pitches. Fouled off. Here's a slider. Back door. Good pitch. And now changeup. This is going to work. Yep. See you later. Next, Joey Ortiz has actually been pretty hot. Slider strike, changeup coming here. 0-2. You could tell he was pissed after the 6th and he wanted this 7th inning badly. 99 in the 7th. Doors. So beautiful first 2 batters of the 6th. And he's going to actually have a 1-2-3-6. I think he threw great. I have 0 worries about him if I'm a Dodger fan. He's just getting going here. Honestly, he's run into some pretty good offense against him. But 0 worries about him. I think he's looked pretty good overall. But you got to take this Brewers team seriously. As long as they have one of their big 3 starters pitching right now, Mizorowski, Harrison, or Henderson, and the way that they play offense and defense, you got to take them seriously. I think more so than last year. I know Abner Uribe's on the IL right now, but man, that was a dominant last inning, including this backdoor curveball, which I want to say I only counted 2 curveballs this whole game. But I love the way he ran through the finish line in this game. But yeah, I mean, you got to take the Brewers seriously at this point. I think last year they didn't have enough starting pitching to really do it, but Miz is more fully formed now, Henderson and Harrison. So I give them a better shot this time around in the postseason, when they get there. But we'll see. All right. What else we got here? Almost any realistic matchup would be a treat for ball knowers, but yes, that's bordering on a sicko a little bit. Bring up Soroka. We'll see. Sirota. He's going to get up at some point. He is. Also, May. I haven't really watched May since he's been on the Brewers, but you got to trust the Brewers with anybody they get. I already did. There's a whole video on my YouTube channel on Baez. I broke down his debut game the other day. Watching Joshua Baez debut. It's on there if you want to go take a look. Is there a pitcher that should be talked about more? I mean, yeah, probably a lot of them. Actually, Ryan Weathers, who we'll probably watch next. How much of the Dodgers not having Smith contributes to some of their struggles? I feel like he's very important. Yeah, he's a very important piece, no doubt about it. He's kind of the stabilizing force, both in the game calling. He also provides a lot of offense, a lot of maturity behind the plate. Rushing was doing a nice job, but he's hurt now, so they do have a little bit of a weakness at catcher. Are they finally going to have a playoff offense? Well, they don't have a lot of power, if that's what you're looking for, which is something you usually need to show up in the postseason, but I think they're opportunistic enough that if their pitching holds up the way I expect it to, I think they could play some really good low-scoring postseason games and maybe squeak them out. So we'll see. Oh, yeah, Tiedemann, we should do a quick Tiedemann, and then we'll head into the Cease-Weathers game, I would say. Do you think the Jays have a chance? I mean, they definitely have a chance. They're one back. So, do you think pitching is so great or hitting approach is just bad? I think the pitching is so great, and I think the hitting approach, it's not always bad, but a lot of it is trying to reverse engineer OPS and like slugging percentage and walks and stuff. So it becomes a little one-dimensional is my only issue. But I don't think it's bad. It's just like the pitchers are a step ahead, and the stuff is crazy right now, the velocity. So I think it's a step ahead. Yeah, we'll get to all of this. There's so much to watch here. So. So much to watch. Do the Braves have enough pitching to win the World Series? I question this a lot. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. If they had Schwellenbach, I would feel a lot better. I would definitely feel a lot better. All right, so Ricky Tiedemann's made his Major League debut. Long awaited Major League debut for the Blue Jays. The other day. This is a guy who's, you'll watch him in a second. The stuff is pretty much undeniable. Left-hander, 6'4", 220. Fastball, sweeper, changeup guy. This is a guy that they've been waiting on a long time, but he's still only 23. He did finally get up. He's just been so injured, so I don't really have a sense of how this is all going to play out for him. But he did make his MLB debut the other day, so let's celebrate it. Let's watch it. It was against the Yankees. He came in after the opener, and he pitched the second I think the second and a little bit of the third. Inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 27 pitches for Ricky. 16 sweepers, and the sweeper shape on that was pretty lifty, 6 inches of induced vertical break and 12 horizontal. Not a great sweeper shape considering the speed, so we'll keep an eye on that. 4-seam, 96.2. We love that, obviously, left-handed. And he's got a little bit of a dead zone, but he's got a weird release, I want to say. So we'll check that out in a second. 71% first pitch strikes. It wasn't very long of an outing, but we'll watch it. This is his Major League debut. Yankees versus Blue Jays. A lot of people in our Discord were saying that this wasn't a real person that pitched. This was a robot or just a legend. They didn't know this guy actually existed. So anyway, he comes in to face Spencer Jones here, start off the second inning. And that's that first pitch, 96-1, with pretty good vert on that one. Pitching off of the first base side, so creating a little bit of an angle for him to have a lot of plate to work with that sweeper. Exclusively out of the stretch. Here is the sweeper. And Jones is just able to tap that into center. So first batter he faces in the big leagues, a little dinker into center field. Now, I just mentioned the metrics on his sweeper are a little bit abnormal from what I've been watching around the league this year. The first one is the amount of IVB on the sweeper at 6.9. That means this ball doesn't have a lot of drop. You see the angle is very low. I'm going to guess that's in the 20 degrees. We'll find out in a minute. But it doesn't have a ton of drop to it, which can be good, but it's just something to note. Also, 12.1 inches is like probably below average, I would say, for an 81-mile-an-hour sweeper. So I don't love the sweeper shape that he showed in game 1. If that balloons to about 16 inches of horizontal, I might start really liking it. But anyway, the whole purpose of why he's over here is to create all this room for him to run pitches, swoop them across the whole zone. So anyway, leadoff hit by Jones, first career batter. All right, next up is Jazz Chisholm. Sweeper ball, that one was a little bit bigger, and then sweeper again, this one's 15. That's actually a much better sweeper, and you see he gets it to a perfect location. Jazz gets it off the end of the bat, pops it up. So that's his first career out on a really good located there. All right, pickoff attempt. Doesn't look like that's a big part of his game. And he's facing the phenom George Lombard Jr. Backdoor sweeper strike. That was nice. Sweeper again. So a little bit of a sweeper monster. Jones steals second. And now 97 on the fastball here. Up and away ball and sweeper run. So he's going to give up 2 hits in his first 3 batters, threw a ton of sweepers, gave up a stolen base and a run here. 3 out of the first 4 pitches to Lombard being sweepers and the fastball being non-competitive allowed him to stay on the sweeper here, and I think that was the issue. Also, this is just really poorly located and a good swing by George. That's going to drive in a run. All right, next up is McMahon. Fastball away ball.
It looks like going to get somebody else up.
That's a good pitch. So, quick takeaways is that he throws very easy cheese. The fastball is very good. I can't tell what his game is yet. It looks like it's fastball sweeper game. Kind of a small pitch package at the moment, which might benefit him out of the pen. But I'd like to see him throw this sweeper either with more movement or a little bit harder, to be honest with you. And then the fastball, I'm not sure what we're seeing in terms of command. I mean, it's a small sample. It's the 1 game, but he's spraying the heater a little bit. All right, sweeper fouled off to Wells. Sweeper coming again. He might benefit from a 2-seam as well from his slot. And then sweeper again. Let's see if this is a good one off the corner. Yes, it is a good one off the corner. So left on left, I mean, it's going to be a lot of sweepers. Fastballs up and in to keep him honest. Fastballs above for Chase. I think a sinker would be good for him with his arm angle. Anyway, that's the end of his first frame, and that's his first career punchy. All right, second career frame here versus Trent Grisham. Sweeper strike.
Starts him with a slider in for a strike.
Sweeper, wave, and a miss. All right, now the sweeper's looking a little better in terms of hitter reaction here in the second inning. Fastball away, not close. Fastball away, not close. And sweeper again, not showing very good fastball command in his debut, but it is his debut, so you give him a break no matter what. Off the end on that sweeper, flied out to center. This one only had 10 inches. The sweeper's just not the nasty pitch that I expected it to be, at least metrically. Fastball to Ben Rice, fouled off. Here comes a sweeper.
Yes.
Another sweeper. He has better command of this pitch than his fastball, but I have to say I'm not like super blown away by the metric on it at all. So it's going to be interesting to watch his development. Good take there from Rice. Here comes another fastball. Away would probably get freeze. Foul tips it. And called strike 3 on a changeup. Here's the first changeup. Ah, good pitch there. Really good pitch there. So that's how he's going to end his outing with the only changeup we've seen. This is really nice.
Again, has been in the organization for a few years.
And this is why I potentially like sinker out of his slot, because you're going to see this has plenty of run, almost -17 going from right to left. You can't see on the screen, but that's why this pitch is taken out of the hand. He thinks it's another pulled fastball, but then it comes back to the corner for the freeze. I think his sinker would have a similar metric to this. It'd probably be 17 or 18 to the left. So then you could play 2 fastball game, and then the sweeper doesn't have to be as good. So to me, that would be an adjustment I look for Pete Walker and the Blue Jays to make maybe moving forward. But I think the biggest thing with Ricky for the last several years has just been keeping him on the field. So once they get past that part of his career, and hopefully they do, then they can go ahead and work on his mix a little bit. But that's what I'm seeing in the first ever look at him right there. So I don't know. We'll see what you guys have in the chat. All right. What else we got here in the chat? That's an easy 96. I do agree that's a pretty easy 96. I don't think like he will be all that. Looks like he'll be back in AAA. So he's already back in AAA. Second inning looked better. Looks like a pretty mediocre sweeper to be his primary. He was always said to have a very good changeup as a prospect, not sure why he didn't throw it more. Probably because he faced so many lefties, and so his lefty attack's really fastball sweeper. Changeup looked great. Great changeup there. If you had the changeup more in the mix, that would be a big deal. The biggest thing with the fastball in the first game is it just didn't show very good command of it, so that's why he probably had to throw so many sweepers. Again, a little more velo on the sweeper, a little more movement, glove side, and I'd be happy with it. But again, it's the first game. I'm not going to like freak out over anything, but yeah, it wasn't that impressive. I mean, it was easy cheese, but other than that, it wasn't that crazy. Changeup's got good numbers, though, for sure. Ricky had been 2 weeks away from the majors for 3 weeks, it feels like, yeah. We just watched this earlier. He's got an elite fastball and changeup, in my opinion. Pretty good command. I see. There's a quick asking for Varland striking out the side on 13 pitches. So if you want to do that, we can do that for a second. Varland did punch out the side in this game. We'll watch all 13 pitches. First up, Ben Rice. Varland, for me, has been the best reliever in the American League this year. I think Bednar is probably the second best. But Varland, man, he's been the best reliever in the American League this year. On track for the Mariano Rivera Award. I know Cade Smith. I know some others. But for me, I'd say Varland has been the best guy. All right, he's about to punch out Benny on this changeup. This changeup's devastating. Ew, his changeup's been awesome all year. Second batter, Helio Ramos, who Yankee fans all have already decided they want him out. Didn't run out balls hard. He's basically gotten no hits. They need Bellinger back bad. Yeah, 3 pitches. Have a nice day, Helio Ramos. And now here is Luis Garcia. At least he's done some positive things so far for the Bombers. Change-up, swing, miss. That one cut. That was crazy. Change-up again. I know it's pronounced Elliot or Elio, Elliot Ramos. Whatever. Get some hits. I'll pronounce your name better. All right, 100-mile-an-hour punch out to end the game. Absolute gas to Garcia right here. Varland, man, he's been awesome. Another guy with the tight pants. Check out the intensity on this last pitch. Yeah! That was freaking gas. I mean, and if you're a kid at home, watch how hard and how much intent he puts down as soon as the front foot lands. He's staying neutral. We're just hanging out. We're hanging out. Now it's time to put down the hammer. I mean, look how hard the effort is and how late. Now, that's what you want to do as a pitcher. You want to have late effort. That's what Louis Varland's showing you right there. Nasty. Oh, yeah, we have side angles of hitters. All right, let me look through a few more times, and then we'll get into Cease and Weathers, I think, next. Hedrick has been better than Bednar. I mean, yeah, but in a different role. I love Hedrick, but I think Bednar. Still take Bednar. Adam, today is the Jimmy Fund Telethon. Did you have any experience with that? Yes, I remember I handled that. I did a lot of stuff at the stadium that day in Fenway with the Jimmy Fund. Good day, good cause. Can you give your honest opinion on Brendan Little? Good stuff. Seems rattled. Often rattled, but good stuff. Good sinker, good breaking ball. Chapman, yeah, I don't know. I still put Varland ahead of him, but I got you. He's got a little bit of a shorter arm swing, Varland. I would agree with that. Do you go live every day? Monday through Friday, pretty much. Delay the trunk rotation as much as possible. Really just delay your effort level as much as possible. That will take care of that. How would you rate the Jays' pen? I mean, it's pretty good, the back two, Rogers and Varland. Other than that, it's okay. It's okay. Fisher's pretty good. Yeah, I'm reading the TikTok chat. I see you. Who are the top 3 starting pitchers in your opinion? I think it's Miz. I think it's Cease and Schlittler right now. That's my opinion. Can we see some of Cam? I'm probably not going to watch Cam today. I do think he'll hold up. He seems to be doing a pretty good job right now. For sure. Dad was favorite umpire in the PGL. Appreciate you. Will Dion? Do we have to look at him at some point? It's a good question. All right. Yesterday's game, or maybe it was 2 days ago. I think it was yesterday's game. Yankees, Blue Jays, Cease versus Weathers. We'll watch both of those guys' outings. Real quick, though, let me go and pull that game up. 4-3 Yankee win. Ben Rice with a clutch home run at the end that kind of made up for an error. These were the 2 outings. Cease went 6 1/3, 2 runs, 3 walks, 10 Ks, 104 pitches. Weathers 7 1/3, 6 innings, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. They're both important guys to watch because Weathers has been a totally different pitcher over the last month, throwing way less fastballs, but Cease is also battling it out for the Cy Young. So I think we'll hit Cease first, and we'll do Weathers second. Cease, 39 heaters, 31 sliders, 15 changeups. Man, changeups become a good pitch for him. 13 knuckle curves, 6 sinkers. Velo was a touchdown, but I get the sense like he's more of a pitcher now than he used to be. So he's less max effort all the time. I mean, he averaged 96 in the 7th inning. So his velo's there. He just didn't throw hard maybe early in the game. All right. Oh, we already pulled this one up. All right, Cease. Let's do Dylan Cease's game here versus the Yanks. Cease going to hit 250 Ks. Very likely, yes.
The Yankees this season.
This is funny to me because I had some good games versus the Dodgers, but the Dodgers probably put the most runs on me of any team during a long stretch. So, I mean, there was some good and bad here. Anyway, first batter of the game here. Ben Rice is going to fly out on the fastball away. Dylan Cease, this is the most impressive, to me, transformation this year. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher that couldn't get out of that mode for a really long time has now become much more well-rounded. This changeup here has become a big pitch for him. The curveball, the sweeper, the sinker, they're all part of the game now. He's able to go deeper more consistently. His contact has really cleaned up. His command has gotten better. He remained the durable strikeout pitcher, so he kept his strengths. He added to he fixed some of his weaknesses, and now he's knocking on the door of Cy Young. So how could you not be impressed with Dylan Cease? Slider there. Here's a sinker in. Ramos is going to ground that down the line. You know, this is more of this is just an unlucky outcome if you're a pitcher. I mean, he got the ground ball he was looking for. It just happened to go right down the line. So 2-out double. Here's Trent Grisham. Curveball strike. All right, what team is Dion on? Cease's new changeup is a big reason why he's been so elite. Still has an issue with the walks. I think he has like the same issue as Blake Snell with the walks, where he's like kind of so nasty, particularly his main 2 pitches, the fastball slider, that he gets a lot of foul balls and at-bats don't end, you know, with a ball in play, and then sometimes they ride you out for a walk. Because I think his command's gotten better, even though his walk rate's only, you know, still not great. Good changeup there to punch out Grisham to end the first. Second inning here. Dion's on the Nats. Okay, thanks.
Lifted it to very shallow center field. In comes Miles.
Pop up on the first pitch. Fastball to Jones. Above the zone. This is a gift. Jones should not be swinging at this pitch, first pitch of the at-bat. That was a giveaway at-bat. All right, second batter here. Yeah, I would love to have a hitter join me on the show at some times, but I break down the hitters too. We just need to go over some hitter performances from the weekend. At some point, we'll mix them in. I know we're doing a lot of pitchers here, but the pitchers are fun. 2-0 slider there to Lombard. Fastball coming here. That's in 3-1. And he's going to end up walking Lombard. So a little walk here. Good strike zone judgment by Lombard. Also a good challenge. That pitch is off the plate away. So 1 on, 1 out, Ryan McMahon now.
The batter, Ryan McMahon.
What are your thoughts on Lombard so far? Very impressed with him, particularly, you know, the defense is obvious. He looks supernatural out there, slow heartbeat on defense, never sped up, great internal clock, great hands, good arm, accurate arm. Just feels like he's been playing shortstop, you know, in the majors for a while, even though he hasn't. Hitting, I've been impressed with his strike zone judgment. Definitely a little bit of the thump. But hitting, it's like you need a much larger sample size to really understand that. All right, stealing on the pitch here. Actually got a bad jump, but he does get the steal. Cease gets the strikeout of McMahon with this very slow changeup. Weird pitch there, but he does get the strikeout. So 2 outs, man on second. Here's Wells. Cease tends to get to 0-2 a lot and then tries to get a lot of chase with pitches out of the zone. Fouls are there, but I think he's trying to get a chase a lot of the time. That's been his problem throughout his whole career, is that the only way he gets you to strike out is by chasing. So he does waste a lot of pitches trying to get those chases that people don't chase on. What I think he's improved this year is now he sometimes goes freeze with either a fastball down or a sinker front door, or maybe a top shelf curveball. Like he's got a few more tricks in his bag to try to get you to not chase, try to get you out in the zone. Like for example, here he comes in the zone on 2-2. He doesn't just spam one down the middle. He trusts a pitch that's not even one of his best pitches. So there's been some growth there, but yes, he is still very chase-based. All right, 3-2 heater here. Swing through by Wells. That was 97. Nice job finishing the third inning. Fourth inning. Yankees need Bellinger back bad. I agree. 100%. Really bad. I think Cade is getting called up with possible injury. If there's a rotation spot, it has to be Cade Anderson for the Mariners, so we'll see.
But he is correct. Boy, they are not shying away from risking their final challenge.
Yeah, Weathers is next.
But they've been correct the last.
Slider away. That's a challenge. I mean, so many challenges in this game. Umpire had a tough day. That's a fastball away. Ball 3-0. So it's going to be a walk here to Caballero. This is a very poor walk, obviously. Leadoff walk to the pest. You don't want to do that. Here's Ben Rice. Change up ball. So 5 balls in a row to start off the third. 6 balls. Now here's a sinker. I would say that this is a huge growth right here. This is a huge growth moment here as well. 6 straight balls. Great hitter at the plate. 2-0 count. Doesn't go with one of his primary pitches. Goes with another pitch off the menu to try to get a weird swing and gets it. Sinker down. So these are the small gains that I think Cease has made on the margins that's made him a Cy Young potential winner. Gets the out there of Rice. Here's Garcia.
We need to score more points. But you believe in your guys, and I think Aaron delved into it.
By the way, they could have Bellinger back.
Surprised he didn't try. Yeah, he should have done a little bit more of that. He seems to be a little gun shy on it, but it's definitely a thing he can do. All right, Lombard steals third, so he just lets him steal third there. This was a poor job. By Caballero, actually. Great job by Caballero to take third. You want to do it with 1 out.
Chopper foul, 2-2.
So now he's got to dig deep and look for the strikeout. So he gets the 2 strikes. He's going change up here to Garcia. Garcia does a good job to get the sac fly. Chases him off the corner, but gets it deep enough to the outfield. Caballero's coming home. Throws off line. 1-0 Yankees. The leadoff walk is the culprit in the 2 steals. All right, Elliot Ramos. Pulled foul. Slider coming here. Happy accident slider popped up. McAdoo is there. That's the end of the third. 4th inning. Trent Grisham. Fastball strike. Fastball strike. Do I think Varland has a case for Cy Young? Nah, I mean, he's not going to win it, but I think he'll get votes. He'll probably finish in the top 10 of votes easily. But he just doesn't because he just can't measure up in terms of the total contribution of the 4 starters I named earlier. Schlittler, Cease, Sonny Gray, and Gavin Williams. All right, here's a strikeout of Trent Grisham with the slider. This is the typical Cease. Straight down, gyro slider, chase below zone. This is what we've been seeing for his whole career. So, nice pitch there. On to the next. Love your name, Brett Gardner 11. It's one of my favorite teammates of all time. Am I Team Schlittler or Team Cease? I'm not rooting for either of them. You would think I'd be rooting for Schlittler since he's a Northeastern guy, but I'm not rooting for either of them. I'm just curious who's going to win. I think right now it's neck and neck. All right, 1-2 on that fastball to Jones, and he's going to punch him out with the slider. So finds his chase slider here in this inning, right below zone, both to Grisham and to Jones. That's a beautiful pitch. 2 batters, 2 Ks, and here's Lombard. Varland is going to finish with over 85 innings, which is absurd. I mean, look, it's unbelievable. His win probability added, all those types of things, but you're probably not. He's going to win the Mariano Rivera Award. He's not going to win the Cy Young.
In his first year as a Blue Jay.
You're just not hearing anything about Mason. He has not fallen off. He's been the best pitcher. He's been the best relief pitcher by far in the big leagues this year. Great pitch there on the slider. So really good 4th inning for Cease. Turned right back to his bread and butter, the slider down, and it worked. 5th inning here, and it's Ryan McMahon. First pitch curveball for a strike. It's not even close. but he calls that a strike. Yeah, I'm in the studio this next week when they play the Jays again on the weekend. So you catch me there. I got some more series doing pre and post for the Yankees. Ooh, fastball up. See you later. So dominating there. He's actually starting to roll here in the mid part of the game. Wellesley, change up. Ball. Sinker. Do you foresee a reliever winning the Cy Young in our lifetime? I mean, yeah, sure. It's just got to be the right year. You know, it's just got to be the right year.
Still not scoring a ton of runs.
All right, knuckle curve, starting off Caballero here. So now 5 batters in a row. He's looked, maybe 6 batters in a row. He's looked dynamite. Sinker here pulled foul. Now to the 4-seam up target. Pulls it down, a little bit of an overthrow. Slider coming here. Yeah, I was in New York with Zach. We were bullpen mates. He was amazing. What a sinker. Yeah, we're gonna watch Weathers next lull. Foul ball. Fouled off. And swing and strike coming here. Door. So really dominant 4th and 5th innings. Best relief pitcher award in the National League is Trevor Hoffman Award. In the American League, it's Mariano Rivera Award. Curveball down. Down. And slider down. Kind of runs out of bat, flies it out. He's been rolling here. Garcia. Fastball fouled off. Fastball fouled off. Now he's throwing harder, too. He's doing that Verlander thing now, where he's throwing harder at the end of his starts. That's a challenge. That's overturned to a ball. Here's a knuckle curve. Good take there. And then changeup called strike 3. Wow, what's the vert on this? 7? No, 16. Great catch by Alejandro Kirk. That is right on the corner anyway, but perfect pitch there. Again, having the changeup, having more options besides the fastball and the slider, it's really changed everything for Cease. Especially 2nd, 3rd, 4th time through the lineup. All right, Elliot Ramos. Curveball. Strike. Slider. Ball. Fastball up in target. Pulls down and away, fouled off. That's the pitch you got to hit. Fastball up in. This time it's a little better. Also a pitch you got to hit. Fastball up in. Now he gets it a little closer. Fouls it off. So he's been trying to get to that spot. Hasn't hit. Back to the curve. Nope. Back to the curve again. Nope. And now slider ball. So didn't really execute well that whole at bat. 2-out walk. And now Grisham again. Slider down ball. Sinker strike. Fastball in. Good pitch to hit, but it's very sharp. Change up. Kirky safe. So big pitch coming up here in a 1-run game, and he's going to call him out on a slider. Wow. Top shelf backdoor slider. So right out of hand. Oh, he wanted the ball, huh? Because this was strikeout 200 for the 6th straight year. So right out of the hand, he thinks this pitch is up, and it ends up being a strike. This is a happy accident, but a brilliant thing to do, especially in the modern game with everybody trying to be so good with their takes. You see, out of the hand, this looks like a fastball up, and then it just nestles right back in the zone. If you could do this on command, you'd freeze so many people. Dirty. Anyway, 200K for the 6th straight year, and he does get the 7th inning. 7th inning, Spencer Jones. Strike right down the middle. Curveball down ball. So he was the fastest 200Ks in Blue Jay history. Okay. I mean, just in general, he wanted the 2K balls, right? He's got all his 200 strikeout balls. 300 strikeouts is the real jam. I asked Scherzer what it takes to get 300 strikeouts in the season. He says you make every start and you strike out 9 batters or more in every start. That's the key. That's pretty hard to do. I think Cease could do it someday, though. Slider down in. Jones swings over the top, so that's strikeout 201. And now Lombard. Curveball. Ball. Four seam. Strike. Slider coming here. Good swing. Off the wall. One thing I like about Lombard is he keeps his head and his shoulder in a long time. On outside pitches, he swings through the ball very well. He doesn't pull off at all. You can kind of see it right here. See how that energy is through the ball? Takes advantage of the hanger here. Brilliant swing here by Lombard. Almost clips him. Probably hit that over 100, right? Yeah, 101. Just doesn't quite get it up enough. Let's take a swing look at that from the side. He's going to be a good mistake breaking ball hitter, I think. Shoot the fastball the other way. Hammer the hanger. Anyway, nice swing there. That's a double. And then that's it. They take him out. That run did get cashed. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about Cease? He's been that good all year. Him and Schlittler are duking it out for the Cy Young. I know Sonny Gray as well, and Gavin Williams. I mentioned those guys as well. But he's already over 200 punchies. Just having a hell of a season. 2.42 ERA, 23 starts. I know he's a little behind Schlittler in innings, but really in every metric he's been so dynamic. He is headed towards 250 strikeouts. It's just been a crazy year for the Jays. You go ahead and add basically the Cy Young Award winner and or Cy Young first or second in the Cy Young, whatever. And for you to have a regression year is just weird, but he's been awesome. On the other side of this game was Ryan Weathers. He pitched 7 1/3, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Now he's completely flipped his style away from throwing his four-seamer like ever. Now, the sinker he started to lean on a little bit more as of late, as you see in this game, 39 sinkers, 34 changeups, 14 sweepers, only 5 four-seamers, and 3 sliders. And we've litigated it on this show a few times. You go back through Ryan Weathers' career in terms of run value on his four-seam fastball, and he's literally never had a positive run value on his four-seam fastball in his career. This year, -9. Last year, -3. 2024, -4. 2023, -6. 2022, -2, 2021, -12. So yes, he throws hard, but basically at a certain point, the Yankees were like, stop throwing this pitch. This pitch stinks. If you're going to throw your fastball, throw your sinker. And that's what he's all of a sudden decided to do. And his whole season has really, in a lot of ways turned around. Let's look at his, real quick, his game logs before we jump back into this start. Since he's made the change, which I want to say started versus this game in Washington on July 10th. 5 1/3, 1. Then he did bad against the Pirates, 4 2/3, 5. But look at these next starts. 5 2/3, 1, 7-0, 6-0, 5 2/3, 1, 7 1/3, 1. So crazy what just throwing your best pitches more often can do for you. And it should, when he throws his fastball, make the fastball look a little faster. But big-time midseason adjustment for Ryan Weathers, and I think that's going to keep him in the rotation when Rodon gets back. I think now it's going to be probably Will Warren that goes to the pen. So here he is, facing recently acquired Bateman. Sinker in on the hands, roll over, 1 out right there.
They both look like kids. Now, Lombard's only 21. Rice is, I think, 24 or something.
Do you know what happens when you get older?
And they're big leaguers.
This adjustment I think is a little bit of both. You put your thinking cap together. It can be really hard to let go of throwing your fastball as a primary pitch, though, especially when you've been told that you have a great fastball your whole life. And I'm sure Ryan has been told that. He throws 97, 98 when he wants to, up to 100 from the left side. Reality, eventually, though, the sample size gets big enough, you just say to yourself, you know what, my fastball actually sucks, and I got to stop throwing it. So that's where he finally got to. It took him a while, but you're seeing the results. And once you start seeing the results, it's easy to do it.
He has started all 3 games. Catcher on Friday night, DH in yesterday's game. This is a guy the Yankees have a ton.
Weathers has done a great job, especially yesterday, of limiting the amount of times he throws the fastball. Yep, we've been talking about it. I think his sweeper's a really good pitch. I think his changeup's a really good pitch. I think those are his 2 elite pitches. I think the sinker he has is like an interesting shape to kind of, change it up a little bit. but it's as many times as he can throw sweepers and changeups that's going to dictate his success, basically. And so you see here in the first inning, I kind of bared out, and it was pretty easy. Second inning here versus George Springer. Do you think Burns has the ability to hit 300 Ks in his season? So no doubt he has the strikeout ability. I don't think he has the innings pitched ability. I don't think Burns is going to be a guy who's going to be able to pitch deep into enough games to hit that 9 strikeout mark every game for the whole season. So I don't think, in my opinion, he falls short of a 300K guy. But he's got the strikeout ability. He's one of the best breaking balls in the league. All right, so backdoor sweeper to Springer, gets the first out there. Love watching Lombard field, makes it look so easy. Yeah. I try not to think about this one too much, but yeah, this one hurt a lot. Pretty much owned Springer in my at-bat and then hung him a slider right there, and that tied the game at 1 in that playoff game. Game 2 of the 2019 ALCS. Just shoot myself in the forehead. So they're talking to Mad Max here throughout this whole at-bat. He is going to end up getting Ernie out with a changeup. You know the other teams know about it now, too. When they go in, they know they're going to get off speed, but it just hasn't made much of a difference. When he's heavy off speed, he has success. Sweeper backdoor to Okamoto.
I mean, we had a league vote on some rules here. You know, we have a 12-man league, and you know, we look at this vote.
Do you think the Jays can make the postseason? I mean, yeah, they're one out. They're one game out. Anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. There's still a lot of good players on the Jays.
Who's actually got the integrity to run a fantasy league?
How easy is it to improve your fastball shape? Sometimes it depends on what you're doing prior. Like if you have a terrible grip on your ball, then it could be as easy as just switching your grip. If you've already optimized your grip and your angle and all sorts of stuff, then it can be hard. Just depends.
I'm kind of like Jerry Jones. You know, I'm definitely an owner.
Sinker there to Okamoto. A little bit of a challenge fastball there, but mishits it. Pops it up. He does get almost 20 inches of run on his sinker, so that's a big deal. All right, good second inning. Here's the third inning, and Daz Cameron. Changeup fouled off. Somebody asked me, did I like Mad Max? Yes, I love playing with Mad Max. He's pure comedy all day long and super intense and also knows a lot. So fun guy to learn from. Sinker away ball.
The inside part of the plate against him.
Wow, sinker on the outside corner there in a 2-1 count, and now the sweeper. And it's backdoor paint. Really good pitching there from Weathers. All right, one out. Here's Jimenez. Slider ball.
Second on the team.
This one's been tough. This question about Vlad struggling. I mean, I think maybe I've gone back and forth on this. I think maybe his swing is a little bit too downhill coming into the hitting zone, and he's hitting a lot of glancing blows on his fly balls. Like he's not really catching it with that backspin that creates actual ball flight. He's like kind of mishitting it, or he's coming in on top of the ball and pounding it in the ground. So maybe that's a little bit of the issue, but I also think he's just not very accurate with his bat this year. I don't think that will last forever, but definitely seems to be a thing. Really good left-on-left changeup there to Jimenez for the punchy. And here is a 1 pitch out to Straw. This is huge if you want to go deep into games. 1 pitch out. So Straw pops out on the sinker, and we go to the 4th inning. Do remember June 12th, 2010 versus Arizona. Yeah, that must have been my last career start. Give up 4 bombs. Mark Reynolds, LaRoche, Chris Snyder. Maybe somebody else. Last career start. I think he's talking about with his fantasy football team. He's big on fantasy. Were you managed at any point by Bud Black? Yeah, 17 and 18. Not my favorite. Nice guy. King of the small talk. Runs a great spring training. Big time hot hand manager. I don't really think he has any idea what he's doing, but that's a whole nother story.
16 home runs at AAA this year. So
totally agree with Vlad. Entering the zone too steep. That's how I think too. I think he's playing through an injury. That's been a theory as well. I haven't really seen that yet. His bat speed's still there, but it just hasn't really worked very good. This is a infield hit from McAdoo. So weak content, but weak contact, but base hit.
I mean, that's about as tough as it can get in the toughest league in the
And here is Kirk. Grounder through the right side. So he's got a little bit of trouble here. First and second, 1 out in the 4th, 1-run lead. That's going to bring up George. Sinker down. Changeup coming. Slow tapper to short. Lombard, long underhand toss, and they still get the double play. Wow, I am stunned by that. Let's look at the high home. This was such a far toss. George is busting it. This is just a really good turn by the Yankees. Really quick turn. I thought he had to go overhand from this distance. This is such a far distance to go underhand. I'm amazed he went underhand here. But I guess he had a good sense of the internal clock. And then also look at the way he kind of gets a little pepper on his underhand toss here. Man, Lombard continues to impress. So he gets through the 4th. That was a huge at-bat. And that did not work out.
Basically trying to get the Blue Jays to reach.
Last inning before the George Springer double play.
Back in 1991.
Another ground ball short. There's Lombard again. Another easy play. Another out on an off-speed pitch. Sinker down, strike, but that was a ball. This umpire's been brutal. Wendelstedt in this game. Changeup down. Great swing by Okamoto there. That's going to be extra bases. Knocked down by Grisham. Double. Cameron, fastball down, sinker coming again. 2-0, and in-play runs. So this is where they get their runs. 2-0 changeup. I would have sat off speed as well. He does pull it into a very hittable location down in. So both hits come on the changeup, back-to-back doubles. Okamoto and Cameron. Let's see if there's an adjustment back, if the changeup's getting a little predictable here or not. Here's Jimenez, sweeper, swing and miss. He did punch Jimenez on a changeup that first time. Sinker coming here. Ball. Sinker coming again. Ball. After this, I have to make a important phone call for my wife, so I'm going to pause. I'm going to put the stream on the loading page after we get through Weathers, and then after I get off the phone call, I'll come back and I'll cover some more stuff like Noah Cameron. Got time for a long stream today, so we'll keep going, but there's going to be a little break in here.
Cameron's got to stay at second. Now he's going for 3rd.
Oh, and this was the clutch play of the game. This game probably changed. This play probably changed the whole game. So you got a man on second and 1 out. And here's the pitch. It's a jammed sinker to Jimenez, rolls it to 3rd. McMahon watches the runner back, throws to 1st, and then Rice fires it back to McMahon, who catches it and puts the tag on. This was a interesting move, and I thought it was actually decent base running, to be honest with you. I know he gets doubled off, but McMahon's so far away from the bag that's why he thought he had a shot to make it. Ultimately, he does a good job diving and making the tag here after catching this throwback from Rice. And this was huge because it took away a big run-scoring opportunity for the Jays. They're still only 1 single away from getting the go-ahead run here, and instead it's an inning-ending double play. So good defense by the Yankees. If there's anything that they have done a pretty good job of, it's playing defense over the last little stretch here. I mean, I know they've had some weakness there, but for the most part, I think their defense is so much better than it used to be. All right, 1-1 sweeper here in the 6th. Leading off the 6th.
In there, too.
I would imagine having to face a guy like this as a batter would be so frustrating. Everything just kind of melts as it gets to the plate. I mean, you want to hit a fastball so bad, and he's just never giving you one. And I think that's the frustrating part. Hitters want to hit fastballs. He's just basically refusing to give you a fastball, especially that four-seam fastball that's so juicy. You know, everybody's been hitting that for so many years. There's a walk that they want those. But unfortunately, Weathers just decides you're not getting any anymore. So it makes it tough. All right, Bateman, who loves to bunt, is going to lay down a bunt here. McMahon, incredible throw to second because he's so aggressive. An incredible pick by Lombard. Let's watch that one more time. I love the aggressive nature of McMahon going for the lead runner here, but unbelievable pick by George Lombard. This kid's hands are ridiculous. Sick play. All right, so that maintains the man on first with 1 out for McAdoo. Change up away ball. Sinker coming here. Fouled off, and sinker coming again. And that's going to be off Lombard's glove. The turf kind of speeds that up. Here comes Grisham's throw to third. Safe. And now it's first and third for Alejandro Kirk. Sinker ball. Changeup coming. 2-0. So this is the first moment where he's in a little bit of trouble. Changeup coming here. Called strike, overturned to a ball. So 3-0 count. 3-0 sinker. The one thing with Kirk here is he is such a double play candidate that you got to be a little discerning if you're him. Changeup comes here. That's the best pitch of the night. 3-1 changeup for the double play on command when you need it with the perfect batter in the box. You have to throw a really good one down and away and get him to pull an outside pitch. This is the best pitch of the game from Weathers. This is a perfect pitch. Perfect pitch. Another good turn by the Yankees. On to the 7th. Springer. That would have infuriated me as a Jays fan too. You got to go with that pitch. It's very similar to the double play that Kirk hit to end the World Series last year. It's a changeup away from him. You got to go the other way. You are also correct. It was ball 4 before that. This umpire's been horseshit. But trying to pull these outside pitches, these slow outside pitches, just does not work. Springer just tried to do it there. Another rollover. Crazy. Did he have challenges left? If he had challenges left, then you got to say you got to challenge it, but that was a ball. I agree. We already showed Cease. We have already done Cease. Cease was before this. So you can go back on my YouTube page and go back into the stream. You can find it. All right, 2-1 changeup. Another good changeup down and away, rolled over. And now he's really getting them to expand a lot on these. Slider strike. Thing I've noticed is the long at bats where the hitter has a pitcher's fastball timing down, becomes a foul off competition instead of working in a slider or cutter, thinking out loud.
A lot of balls in play, just as Weathers wants them to.
The sinkers or cutters, though, mistakes with 2 strikes, and those moments usually get pummeled. That's one of the tough ones. Sweeper backdoor, that's paint. And then changeup. So he's thrown some really perfect pitches in this at bat. 2 perfect backdoor sweepers and then a changeup to get the chase. Has a great 7th inning. He actually goes out for the 8th inning with the 1-run lead. They wanted to go just him and Bednar, which is what they ended up doing, but they needed Weathers to get an out or 2 here so that Bednar didn't have to pitch as many outs. Another overturn there. I mean, really bad umpiring in this game. It's crazy. Sinker down strike. Michael K said, "Have a day, Hunter." Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yep, sure did. It was a perfect 3-1 changeup down away. Ground ball to short. Lombard takes care of that, so 1 out in the 8th, and then this is going to be his last batter. I'm pretty sure he doesn't get him out, though. Pretty sure Jimenez gets on here. Sinker, changeup, sword, nasty, and then another changeup, but this time Jimenez is going to get on. That's going to end Weathers' outing, but overall, great outing. Continue to stick with the plan, the off-speed attack. Did mix in more sinkers in this game. The pitch to Kirk was the biggest clutch pitch of the game. That, as well as that double play, Jimenez's last at bat. The McMahon to Rice, back to McMahon play. But now, Yankees are really rolling on the mound. They just need to get their freaking hitting going. But the way Schlitter's throwing the ball, Cole, Fried, and Weathers, they're giving themselves a chance to win pretty much every night. Weathers has completely changed his entire season around by going to the off-speed attack, and it's been really cool to see. He's been very consistent. So we'll just have to see how it plays out the rest of the way. But that was a good pitching duel right there. All right, I am going to take a break right now. It might take 5, might take 10 minutes. So I'm going to throw it onto the loading screen, and then I'll be back after that, and we'll watch Noah Cameron and maybe some hitters. And we'll go over some things because I know we're 2 hours in, but I got time. So I'll be back. Hang in there. Appreciate everybody that is in the chat today. I'm actually back right now for a little bit. They're going to call me back, the people that I have to talk to for a minute from my wife. So I am back. I haven't watched Noah Cameron yet. I'm going to watch him next. I also like to watch some hitters and maybe some prospects. I have a little bit of time here, so it's just one of those days. My kid's at camp, and the rest of my family's in Europe. So I don't have a whole lot going on. I need to order food for lunch. But other than that, I can kick it for like another 45 minutes or something. Before I'll move along with my day and go run errands. What the heck do I want to get for lunch? I need to be healthy here. It's a tough one. Been eating a lot of like rotisserie chickens lately, which has been a big one. Get a chopped cheese. You know, not for nothing. It's not a bad idea. All right, I'm going to order a sandwich. Kid wants a sandwich today. We'll even get it with waffle fries. What do you think about that? Waffle fries? All right, let me just put this order through. And we'll see about them calling me back. They should call me back soon. And we might have to take another break. But in the meantime, we'll get going on Noah Cameron, because this guy's on an absolute burner, and I don't even understand it. I did a Sunday night baseball game for him relatively early in the year, maybe May. He looked like a totally different pitcher than he was last year. His arm angle had changed. Things had gotten a little screwy, but he is back in a big way. 58-degree arm angle last year. Right now he's at 52, so it has gotten lower, but I would guess that trended up recently. Anyway, here's the game logs for Noah Cameron, because this has been crazy. After this start right here, he was in a little bit of trouble. He had a 146 whip on the season, and it was July 19th. He had a 5.27 earned run average. Since then, he's gone 7 innings, no runs, 8 innings, no runs, 8 innings, 1 run, 5 2/3, 4 runs, and then 9 innings, no runs. So he's been scoreless, or one run total in 4 of his last 5 starts. Ridiculous. That is a run. I know it's versus the Angels, but that is a burner. He's down to 4.16 ERA on the season, which is pretty damn impressive. So let's go look at the breakdown and see what the heck he's been doing to achieve that in this last game. He went 25 sliders, 24 changeups, 20 curveballs, 19 four-seamers, 18 cutters, 9 sinkers. So another guy who's kind of run away from his fastball. And he's gotten incredible results on slider and changeup, huh? 46% whiff on slider, 53% on his changeup. Damn, kid. Only 7 hard hit balls. So this is Royals, Angels. Noah Cameron, complete game, shutout, 115 pitches. All right, here we go. You've demanded it. We got it. The sandwiches on the vlog looked amazing. Yeah, I'm a big sandwich guy, so if there's a place that's super recommended when I do my side quests, I'm probably going to get a sandwich. All right, Neto is going to get him to pop up on a slider. Here is Trout. Fastball in. Command's got to be a big part of it, right? Slider backdoor fouled off, and then curveball off that line. Curveball is probably his best pitch for my money. Just misses. He's lucky he got away with that. That was in Trout's happy zone. Fly out to center. Here's Vaughn Grissom. Jordan Walker had a big day yesterday talking about how the Cardinals had tried to get him to uppercut a bit, and he said I would just rather continue just hitting through the ball. He went to Driveline this offseason. I think the biggest changes with Walker is like how tall he's now in the box, and I think he's seeing the ball a little bit longer, and it's helping his chase just a touch. And he seems to be more on time for fastballs than he was last year. Anyway, here's Noah Cameron. 2 outs in the first. He's going to get Grissom on the curveball. I wonder how many outs he gets on curveballs in this game, because curveball to me is his best pitch. Curveball and changeup. Popped up there. Very easy first inning. Second inning coming up. 1 pitch out on a slider to Siri. I think also getting away from his four-seamers probably helped a lot too. Kind of weather style. Pop up there. Here is Meckler. Trout did just miss that one. Agree. Yeah, Koshian. Koshian has been heating up big time. I've been watching some YouTube videos that are out there. You know, there was actually a... man, I think I want to go find it on YouTube at the end. Really interesting video. There's a guy that I follow on YouTube who's a Japanese, I want to say a fan, but he calls himself a handyman, and he's always around with his camera, and he basically stalks, you know, Yoshi and Shohei and Roki for the Dodgers, and he catches a lot of their training stuff. And there was one yesterday, man. I was transfixed in bed watching these guys play catch before the game, watching Roki, seeing what he's working on, watching Yoshi, seeing what he's working on. So maybe we'll check in on that on the stream at some point. What is Cameron doing differently than the others like him with underwhelming metrics? Not a lot different. He's just got a pretty good changeup and curveball. He's got pretty good command. And I think he's run into some poor offenses. But yeah, he's got good command. I mean, that's a great location there on the fastball. That's up and in. Popped up. Great pitch. Easy second inning. Here's the third inning. I think the big thing for him is just getting back on top of the ball. His arm angle had dropped, and it really took a lot of the metrics away from some of his favorable pitches, like the curveball, and now I think he's back. You just watch him. He's so much more on top of these pitches now. I mean, that's way over the top. So he's a lot closer to that 58 degree that he was last year when he was pretty successful. Anyway, the changeup's really good. Keeps you honest. Curveball's good. Classic lefty.
Do you feel like these are the prime years coming up for you?
Fastball up, popped up, foul, and in play outs on a changeup. Lots of outs on changeups and curveballs, as predicted. Peraza out front on that changeup. He does throw it really slow. I mean, 79, so he gets a lot of people out on the front foot. It feels very Tyler Anderson-esque. Swing and a miss there from Darno. Changeup, and slider. Slider for Chase. Oh, perfect pitch down in back foot. So the command's been really good from what I've been seeing. So far, excellent command. Cutter chop foul. Here's a four-seam up and away. Good miss. Another one. Man, that was right there. Slider off that, you could get Chase. A little bit too low out of the hand. If he fixes it, he'll get the chase. Actually, a bad pitch. Almost got clipped, but it's going to work out. End of the third. Fourth inning. Which right-handed pitcher do you think has the best changeup? That's a good question. I don't know, man. Logan Henderson's starting to get pretty exciting. All right, Neto. There's that fastball he doesn't want to throw a lot. Looked like he was right on that, but mishit it a little weird. Outfielder has a little bit of a funky route to it, but catches it, and now we're back to Trout. They are very similar, him and Tyler Anderson. All he needs is the crazy little dip in his windup to be Tyler Anderson. I agree. Yo, Adam, you think the Royals have a coaching issue, especially pitching-wise, because we've had 5 big league starters go down with Tommy John this year alone? I don't have enough insight on what they're telling them over there, so it's hard for me to answer that question, but that's a very brutal year of Tommy Johns. Very brutal year of Tommy Johns right there. One thing I will say, some of the smaller market teams, they don't put as much money into the training side of things, and I don't know if that's true or not with the Royals, but, you know, just throwing it out there as a possibility. Noah has been elite since he started calling his own pitches. Pitchers know what they want to throw most of the time. So what, Salvi just calling fastball away, fastball away, fastball away all year long? Could be. Beautiful change up there to Grissom, and that is it for that inning. He's been really good. Really good. Off speed is dominating. Curveball for a strike. Change up off of that. He's just not, it's another one. Him and Weathers are just not giving you the pitch you want to smash. You want to get a four-seam, you're just not getting it. Ooh, Bobby. Bobby had to make up for that little bobble with that throw. Did a good job. All right, here's Meckler. Slider, now a sinker. Ground ball to second. Easy play there. Seems like the sinker left on left has been a good option for him too. Four-seamer away strike. Here's Denzer Guzman. This guy's a good player, I think. Good young player. Hasn't really panned out yet, but he's so young. I like a lot of his actions. Slider there down. Curveball. Jams him on the curveball. That wasn't great command, but it worked out. So another easy inning. The fifth inning. Here's the sixth. Royals too busy banning porn to focus on pitching development. It's true. No porn. Have meanings about that. So crazy. I did not look at Caballero rundown.
Good start to the year, was hitting the ball hard.
Talked about this a lot. Speaking of the pitchers knowing what they're going to throw, what do you think about the Marlins coaching staff calling pitches? So I actually hate it, but I think it's probably okay-ish for their team, just because they have a lot of young guys, and really what they're trying to do is keep guys in their optimal usage patterns. But I just think come postseason time, I mean, if they were to get there, or come big game time, you really need to play the game pitch to pitch or you're going to get beat. And it's going to be really hard to make those reads from the dugout. So I kind of hate it, and I wish it wasn't a thing. But I also understand what they're doing a little bit to keep guys in their optimal usage patterns. And it's something they do at the minor league level too. My whole thing is it also comes down to accountability too. Like, so when things go wrong, who do I get to blame? Like, can't blame the pitcher because he's not calling the pitches. Can't blame the catcher. The team's not going to accept any of the blame. They're not gonna, say, oh, we screwed you by calling bad pitches, so now we'll just go ahead and give you more money in arbitration or more chances because we messed you up. No, they're going to kick you to the curb. So to me, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, and I wish they would take it out of the game. All right, slider, swing and miss here, too low.
Strike three was a slider.
I mean, every team gets kind of shaky at some point, but great weekend for the Orioles. Good comment there. Is Aaron Ashby in the same role in the bullpen you were, like the fireman, high leverage guy? The younger version of me, yeah. And then a little bit when I was with the Yankees. Times in my career I was more locked into like an 8th inning role or 9th inning role, but yeah, there was years where I was in the Ashby role for sure. Nice defensive positioning there. And now we have a third matchup versus Trout. Pitching here with a 3-run lead. Nobody on, nobody out here in the 7th. Fastball away ball. Here's a curveball. Drops it in for a strike. He's had excellent command of that pitch. Cutter here. Swing and miss. And curveball down. That's a great take. And now changeup. I mean, he's just so good at playing the off-speed off the off-speed. That's a perfect changeup there. And clearly there's some deception there because Trout is way ahead, thinks he's swinging at a fastball. So curveball to changeup, we've been seeing it all game long. Really good command of that pitch too.
1991 against the White Sox. Remember that? I mean, there was a play out in left center field where Kirk Gibson was playing just off his glove and ended up giving him an error on that one.
Who's the best hitter you ever faced? I don't know. I mean, probably by career standards, it'd be like a Pujols or a Cabrera or Trout or Shohei or Judge. One of those guys. A little jam hit there. It's a tough question, though.
Survives as the last Royal to throw a no-hitter. Siri takes a strike, and that's why.
Ryan Zimmerman, David Wright, Buster Posey, somebody like that. Another out on a curveball, fly out there. Meckler again.
No. That was against Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan, yeah. Yes.
Wonder why pitchers don't go up and in as often as they expect. Is it really hard to hit there? Is it they don't trust their command enough? Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that. I think up in spooks some pitchers. They don't want to hit guys. I also think, up and in, it's such a good pitch, but there is a little bit of it's a little bit of a high risk, high reward pitch, right? Because especially on same-sided hitters, like I'll give an example here just visually, as of course this cutter is up and in and he gets an out on it to end the 7th. But like if you're going same-sided hitters, right, and you're trying to go to this location with your fastball, you think about your misses. Any miss in here is a potential hit batter, Any miss on this side, you might pull it down the middle. So, you know, trying to pitch in, particularly with 2 strikes when guys are diving for the outside corner for breaking balls and stuff, you wind up either being perfect or you throw them the pitch that you don't want to throw, which is either a hit by pitch or it's a meatball down the middle. And I think that's why a lot of people shy away from it. That being said, if you have command, I mean, it's one of the best locations you can throw to a hitter. You get a lot of free outs. So that's the answer to that question. All right, 8th inning, Guzman trying to be aggressive, chases the curveball. How did your matchups go versus Shohei? I struck him out once. Definitely gave up a double, I can recall. Probably walked him a few times. No home runs, but I think overall he probably got the edge, even though I had the strikeout.
Picking up 1 hit so far. Grissom with a pop-up single behind short in the last inning.
Oh yeah, I did get the big out to end that game. Yeah. The Ben Verlander story. Yeah, it's whatever. Another changeup, another swing and miss. Guzman's way ahead of that. There has to be some deception with this changeup, guys. Guys are just way ahead of that. My God, 1 out in the 8th. All right, next up, Peraza, changeup down ball. Yeah, I know Will Dion. I think I'll try to quickly pop in on Dion next, do a couple hitters, maybe a couple prospects, and then that'll be it. Done with the big league starters after this one. Is there anybody in particular just had your number? I mean, I've talked about this a lot. I mean, Brandon Belt, Christian Yelich, honestly, Yasiel Puig. Those guys just flat out owned me. Fastball up and away, so he goes the whole game staying away from his fastball, but then you see, slow you down enough, the fastball is going to play. Peraza, a day and a half late on that, so 2 outs in the 8th. And now here's d'Arnaud, and you can see Cameron just feeling it at this point.
First year pitching at Central Arkansas.
Cutter backdoor ball, so 2-0. Got one last question. Should the Royals extend Michael Massey? He's played really well when healthy. Depends on the price. That's always the answer there. Depends on the price and what else you got coming through the system and where you want to allocate your money. All right, slider coming here on 2-2. Another good take, and then he's going to end up punching him with the slider. So he's never shied away from a pitch either just because of a good take. I mean, he just throws a better one there and finishes off the 8th inning. All right, back out for the 9th, looking for the shutout. Lowe is the first batter. Slider pulled foul. We ain't got another middle infielder in our system.
2 strikes on Lowe. Noah Cameron with
what hitter did you feel you had their number? I mean, Ryan Zimmerman. I mean, there's been a bunch. I mean, I pitched well against a lot of guys. You know, JD Martinez, I felt like I kind of had his number for a while. But, you know, you pitch long enough, everybody's going to get you at some point. There's a fly out. You know, like Justin Turner was a guy who got me a little bit, but I got him a lot. Those were good battles. Anthony Rizzo. A lot of good battles over the years with guys. Do you have to pitch different grips in Colorado? I never changed my grip, but I would change my sights, like where I wanted to start all my pitches from sea level or at Colorado.
Punch that into the outfield.
Tried to do that, but was too late, fouled it off.
I really enjoy playing for both. I can't really give the edge to either. I do like Fenway more than New Yankee Stadium, if you're looking for that. All right, changeup rolled over. Another out on a changeup, and then he's going to actually end a complete game shutout with Trout. What a turnaround for Cameron. You know, when you're sitting there and you're in the dumps, you got like a mid-5 ERA and almost a 1.5 WHIP, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. To be able to stick with it and then go out there and pitch the way he's pitched over the last month and completely reset your season, God, that must be so rewarding. That must feel so good. And I've had years where I've made up for a lot of stuff in the second half, but as a starter, you have such an opportunity to erase everything if you can get on a run like he is on, and he's done it. He's going to end the game on a changeup. This pitch has been there the whole game, and it's there at the very end of it. Beautiful outing from Cameron. Changeups and curveballs and sliders were the story. You know, some sinkers, but really good command, tons of chase below the zone, and then also part of it is the Angels just stink. So, Great outing by Cameron. We talked about it. He's saved this whole season. He really has. I mean, crazy. Crazy to do it. Now he's at a 4.16 ERA in 23 starts. He's actually pitched the exact amount of innings as last year. He's got more strikeouts, but more base runners and worse run prevention. So I guess it probably comes down to walk rate and then just staying away from damaged pitches like his four-seam fastball, which seems to get rocked. Let's see his run values on the year. Yeah, 0 run value on fastball. Oh, 0 run value on fastball. Pretty good on all his off-speed pitches, so now he's spamming that more, and things are going good. Negative on the sinker as well. Him and Weathers, very similar turnarounds. Just go to much more off-speed, maybe straighten out your arm angle a little bit, and it all cleans up. I mean, 187 average on changeup, 143 on curveball. Yeah, you should probably throw more of those. You should probably throw more of those. All right, let me hop in the chat for a minute. How did I do against Corey Seager? I don't think very good. I remember he hit a massive home run against me on Vince Scully Day to tie a game. Stupid ass pitch that I threw him. Cutter down the middle. What was I doing? Do you think about these takes about Tucker not loving baseball are overblown when you're a GM? How much they love baseball going to your decision to sign a guy? Absolutely. Loving baseball is actually a huge key to longevity in this game because this game is going to beat you down. And if you don't really love it, it's kind of easy to just let it be. And to not stay up at night and grind on it and find a solution. You're always trying to problem solve in baseball. So love for the game is massive. And also like, how do you think they'll behave when you give them game changing money? Like you can give a guy 60, 80, 100, whatever $1 million. Are they going to mail it in after that? Or are they going to feel like they need to work hard as like, kind of to justify that money? And, I think about that in my career. There's some guys, you give them money, it changes them 0%. They just keep working hard. It's like you would never know that they're a, $100 million guy. Then there's some guys where you give them like, a contract extension, they immediately go in the tank and don't try hard anymore. So that's the number one thing I'm trying to suss out. I play with Tuck. Doesn't seem like to me like a guy who hates baseball. I played with him in Team USA. I felt like he liked baseball, but I just feel like he's not a very, outspoken, fun, bubbly type of personality either. He's more a guy who wanted to lay in the weeds. He got that with the Dodgers. Unfortunately, when you hit this bad at home, you're not laying in the weeds anymore. So it's tough. Obviously, Rendon. See, to me, Rendon was like the type of red flag. I mean, it's funny though. You asked Scherzer about it. Scherzer's like, yeah, he didn't like baseball. He likes hoops, but he also was a great player in the postseason for us. So like, I would have given him the money. I'm like, all right, well, he knew him better than me, but there was rumors about Rendon hitting baseball forever, so that's one of those things. That home run was Seager's only hit against me, 1 for 4 with 1 walk. He should have had a home run off me in Citi Field as well. I bet you I could find that because it's from 2022. I faced Texas. I'll show you. This is a weird play. This is my baseball brain. Texas versus Mets, 2022 day game. Ottavino versus Seager. Watch this batted ball. He hits this ball 105.8 to center, but gets out because he hits it on a knuckleball and it just dies. Doesn't even make the warning track at almost 106. He's looking at the exit velo right there too. See, he's like, I hit the shit out of that ball, but it didn't go anywhere. It's just because of the way he hit it. And I've been dying for them to release the spin data, because if they released the spin data, then you would understand that this ball had weird spin, and that's why it didn't carry. So anyway, hit 2 balls really hard off of me. One was a home run. That one probably an expected home run, but ended up being an out. So that's baseball. Hear me out. Dodgers will not be world champions this year. I would still take the field. It's so hard to repeat, let alone three-peat. I know they have the best roster. They're probably the favorite, but I would agree with you. It's hard to do. And if you think about it, they barely squeaked across the edge the last 2 years. Padres had their number 2 years ago. And certainly the Jays were, a bee's dick away from getting them last year. So pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Rays versus Brewers World Series this year may not be correct. I mean, that would be that would just be so crazy on so many levels. So we are trending towards the postseason. It's going to be interesting to see how we get there. Ooh, speaking of the Mets, we have to look at Senga. We haven't looked at Senga yet today. He's actually been on a little bit of a run now as closer. So it's important to watch it. He's been paring down his usage a little bit. I was comparing him a little bit to Roki Sasaki earlier. You know, Roki had some experience in relief last year. He was able to just go fastball, forkball, which is kind of what Senga's basically more or less been doing since he got to the pen. And he's got 5 straight scoreless outings. 2 versus Cleveland, 1 versus the Braves, 2 versus the Nationals. Got saves in each of this game. This was his game from yesterday, 8-16. The breakdown on Senga. This will be quick. Breakdown on Senga: 6 forkballs, 5 fastballs. So at the end of the day, we know his forkball is one of the most unhittable pitches in the league. If you can just do that, you'll probably be okay. It just comes down to throwing strikes. So this was what? Nats, Mets. Let's watch Kodai real quick. And I do think this could be, you know, maybe his future. You know, it'd be interesting to see how he's valued after this little stretch here, where all of a sudden he's having some success. So here is Kodai Senga yesterday. Now he's not throwing as hard, which to me is a little odd. I would think Senga would be pumping 98, 99 in this role. It's been more 94, 97. But bottom line is he is throwing more strikes, and he's getting himself into better counts, and he's attacking a lot better, and seemingly not thinking about his mechanics as much, which to me is the key with Kodai in general. Just get him out of his own head and let him rip his pitches, because he is nasty. So he gets the 2 strikes, and then it's ghost fork after ghost fork after ghost fork, and eventually they're going to work. Here's the first punchy. See ya. Nasty. Such a good pitch. So that's the 1 punchy there, and then he's going to punch out forward here to end the game. Also, he's doing the thing with his head. Have you guys noticed? Check out where his eyes are. Looking at third base. He did this a little bit in the past, but he's much more locked in on it now. So getting his target kind of late. And I think that's good for him. I think when he stares too long at the target, he starts to lose it. So in a way, I think this is good for him to kind of get your target, look away, look, and then re-engage. 1-1 forkball, nasty. And now it's just going to be ghost forks. Gets the check swing. And this one's going to get the punchy. So, I don't know. Been a really cool late season development for the Mets is Kodai Senga in this little cameo as closer. And he's been really awesome. 5 straight really good games. Basically just got to get into a forkball count. Get into a forkball count, you're going to have a lot of success. So that's been fun to watch. And I don't know, he's just been such an interesting pitcher since he's come over. He had the year from hell so far this year in terms of when he's been a starter. But it's not the fault of the ghost fork. What are they hitting on the ghost fork this year, even in a horrible year? 0.96 with a 45.5% whiff rate. When you have that, you should probably try to get to that pitch as much as possible, right? I mean, it makes sense. So for him, it's just about finding a way to get to 2 strike counts. But incredible turnaround. It's really fun, really interesting to watch. I'm happy that the Mets have made this choice with him. In a way, I think it's just saving his major league career, because now he's, pitching with a little bit more conviction and not being, so in his own head all the time, which I think is the biggest thing with him. All right, I want to watch some hitters. So let me get back in the chat here for a minute. Favorite player that you faced that turned out to be a great teammate later on in your career? I don't know, maybe Schwarber. Loved Schwarber when we were teammates. Who did I play with towards the end? I mean, even Bellinger was a guy who kind of raked me for a while. I hated facing him with the Dodgers. We were teammates briefly with the Yankees. Got to know him a little bit. Starling Marte, shit, I hit him in the head, so I thought we were going to be enemies forever. I thought he was going to hate me forever. Ended up liking him on the Mets. Curious what you think your worst outing is in your career. There's 3. There's 3 worst outings in my career. The first one happened in 2012 versus the Padres in San Diego in September. Gave up 7 runs in that game. Ruined my whole season in one fell swoop. Then the second one is 2017 versus the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. I think I threw a record 5 wild pitches in the game. Gave up 5 runs ruined my whole season right there in one fell swoop, even though I was a little bad that year in general. And then the third one is 2020 in Buffalo versus the Blue Jays for the Yankees in the short season. Gave up 7 runs in that game and ruined my whole season in one fell swoop. So those are the 3. I had some other really bad ones. We watched most of them, but those are the 3. Is throwing 86 at 15 as a freshman in high school good? Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's fine. Build it slowly. No need to win the race to throw in 95. Watch any Ben Joyce's since we watched his first game back. I know he throwing 104 his last game too. But I think I want to try to turn my attention to some hitters real quick, and then maybe some prospects. Appreciate it. This has been one of the longer streams ever. So you guys take off that need to take off. Anybody who wants to stick around, stick around. All right, batters that need to be broken down from recent times. Miguel Vargas, 2 home run game yesterday. Ben Malgeri, he's a former Northeastern Husky. Jack Caglianone, that was Friday. Saturday, we already went over Baez, Arenado. Sunday, Burleson, Jordan Walker. Let's go over Jordan Walker. He's been interesting for a little while. So let's go back over Jordan Walker. He slowed down on his pace a little bit. I know he started off pretty bad coming out of the All-Star break, correct? Anyway, full numbers overall. 284, 344, 495, 839 OPS. Yeah, he's not like at 900 anymore. Looks like the slugging dropping has been the culprit. Game logs. Yeah, 781 OPS in July was a little bit of a tick back, and now he's up to 865 here in August, and he had a really good game yesterday versus the Cubs. So Cubs-Cardinals on the 16th. Let's see if the swing is still looking the same. 3 for 4 with a hit by pitch. All right, first at bat he's going to get out versus Edward Cabrera. Slider, swing and miss, and curveball. Cabrera's changeup and curveball guy. This is another thing that I've been noticing a lot with him. He's got even though he gets out here, he's been covering the down and away in zone breaking ball so much better this year. This one he's a little bit too far out front to really do it, but his extension through these pitches has been way different this year, and something that I've been noticing with Jordan Walker. Anyway, that's an out. Second at bat. Slider coming here. Ball off away. And sinker coming in. And he's been way better at covering the fastball, especially fastball in this year. Stayed really flat on that one and line drive into the left field corner. Everything he hits is hard hit. Even that one, he was off balance, still 100.5. So a nice swing there. Third at bat. Now he's facing Ryan Rolison. Non-competitive curveball. Here comes a fastball. That's down and in ball. Here comes another one.
227 ERA. Come up performed.
Here comes another one. So 2-2 curveball.
Now you give Weatherholt that extra 90.
Stance is still the same. He's narrowed up, closed up. Hammered on a breaking ball. And again, he's riding pitches on the outer half much better. So that's the home run. Stupid pop. He's off balance, and he still crushes this out at 106.6. And we just watched Joshua Baez, who's got impressive all-field pop. Jordan Walker's got stupid pop. Jordan Walker's got top 7 in the game type of pop, you know? And he just hammers an off-speed pitch to center. Great swing. This is what's made him so impressive this year. He's just making way more contact. His ability to kind of adjust his barrel within the swing has been crazy. I mean, he waits on this pitch and then just drops head. So first the double in the corner, then the home run to center. Ridiculous swing. All right, next at bat. Now he's facing Savale, former Northeastern Husky. Cutter fouled off and sinker hit by pitch, so he'll get a free base here. That'll help the OPS. That was a scary-ass hit by pitch, too. Holy shit. He went to swing at that. Oh, my God. Hand helmet? Hand helmet. Let's watch that in full speed and then slow-mo. Yo, that was crazy. That was so crazy. Here it is in slow-mo. That was strange. All right, so that's a hit by pitch. And then here we go. In-play runs versus Thornton. Another example of donkey power. He sliced off this ball. He did not hit this ball very well. And yet it was 101 off the opposite field wall for a bases clearing double. So just the ability to tap into his raw physical ability has really changed everything, because all he has to do is touch it, and he's just touching the ball more often. So he's keeping it up. Let's see how he finishes this season. He could end up under 800 OPS if he tanks really bad, and that would be really disappointing considering how good of a campaign he's had. Or you could continue to play well and be over 850 and get into the 900s and really put the finishing touches on this year. Because his counting stats are going to look great, but it's about putting together month after month after month of consistent performance for Jordan Walker. But, man, he's been a lot better this year. I do think the swings made the big difference. 100th percentile bat speed is no joke. Also, the defense has gotten better. I know he's -6 outs above average, but I think it's day and night better from where it was. He's only 24, so the sky's still the limit for this guy. No doubt about it. Appreciate you. Do you think your career would have been different if you didn't have to pitch for Colorado for 7 years? Yeah, probably, but like I don't know, better or worse. It's hard to say. I mean, in a lot of ways, that was like that's kind of my calling card in my career. Like best ERA in Coors, was able to survive that and then get to the big market. And I love being a Rocky. But yeah, I don't know, maybe pitching at sea level, maybe in my prime year, like 18, maybe it's even a better year. I mean, it's hard to say. Sal Stewart, love him. I think he's behind Weatherholt in the rookie of the year race, actually pretty sizably. But I love his swing. He's the best hitter on the Reds. Devers is another one. We could check in on Rafi real quick. Rafi's completely turned it around. He's like probably the only Giant who did really turn it around. But he's at 794 OPS. No doubt he's going to finish over 800 in my opinion. You go to his game logs and you can see he's really picked it up lately. 833 in June, 903 in July. He's back at 800 again in August. So he's been relatively consistent in the second half. And he did have a 2-hit day yesterday, including a splash landing on the 16th versus the Rockies. So let's watch another former teammate of mine, Rafael Devers. Very tough year for the Giants. Obviously, everything that they tried kind of backfired. But let's watch his double and home run in this at-bat versus Gabriel Hughes. Fastball take. Here's another fastball here. And then here comes the double. A lot of teams will try to attack Rafi with fastballs. He's more of an off-speed hitter, although that hasn't been the case this year by the numbers. Anyway, weird hit there. Drops it into left for a double. Good hustle out of the box, which he's not always known for. But he wanted this double. He sniffed this double out. I'm excited to be out in the Bay Area in a couple weeks. Can't wait. Go, Rafi. Go, baby. Little head first slide for the double. So a mishit fastball double, and then he's going to go into McCovey Cove this at bat on a crazy pitch. Slider in, take. Nah, he's not. Have you seen Weatherholt's defensive stats? Or his overall WAR? It's like not even close. JJ's way ahead. Way ahead. Sal's got more like some of the offensive numbers, but I think Weatherholt is having a much better all-around season than Sal Stewart. Curveball down, foul tipped. Slider here. Hammered into the Cove, foul. Don't worry, that's just foreshadowing. Here's a fastball. Good take. Usually he swings at that, and then watch this weird home run. I mean, that pitch is so far down and in, and then he just cranks that. Damn. Into the Cove. Splash landing, 105.5 at 25. Look at the location of the pitch. It's not even close. It's ridiculous. Let's watch it again. This is just one of those things about him, man. He just sometimes he can be an incredible bad ball hitter too. Some of the stuff Rafi does, you just can't really teach it. That was insane. Check out the swing from the side. Including his weird-ass stance. Like, who the hell stands like this? You kidding me? Unbelievable. But he hasn't been the problem. He's been pretty dang good, honestly. Maybe not his best season ever, but he's been pretty good. It's more the other guys that have been letting him down. Big time. But anyway, good job from Devers. Let's go litigate that I know we're going to look at Baseball Reference WAR, but that's what you should judge, basically, Rookie of the Year off of. So Sal Stewart is sitting at 1.8 WAR. He's hitting what? 259, 335, 474, 809 OPS with 26 pumps and 91 RBIs. Like, that's pretty good. I love his counting stats. Then you look at JJ Weatherholt, 4.5 WAR. I mean, he's more than doubled him up in WAR. Now, I know he's got a lower OPS, less home runs, less RBIs. I think he might be beating him in runs scored, 81 runs scored, but it's the defense and the other stuff that kind of separates the case here. And now that we have things that every metric will say it, I gotta give the edge to JJ. At least in my opinion. 81 runs scored. How many did Sal have? Only 68 runs scored, so that kind of diminishes a little bit of the RBI gap there. Just a little bit, but the defensive gap is so crazy. Weatherholt is literally like the second best defender in the sport in terms of outs above average. So he's contributing crazy on that side of the ball, and that's why I would give him the edge. I think he's contributed to winning a little bit more, but it does suck a little bit for Sal Stewart because I think Sal Stewart's great and he's put up some better traditional hitting counting stats. But ultimately, I think Weatherholt beats him. I do like doing the compare players, so maybe we'll do that real quick. How do I do this? How do you search them? Weatherholt and Stewart. Compare these players. So this is what we're looking at right now on Baseball Savant as the comparison. Batting run value, Sal's beating him, so that's what everybody's looking at with the traditional stats. Base running, 95th percentile for Weatherholt run value. Fielding, 100th percentile. So that's why I give him the edge. You know what we need to add? We need to add in Carson. We need to add in Benj. All right, Benj is in the mix now. Benj is even more well-rounded than all of them. He's got 72nd percentile batting run value, 92nd in base running, 71st percentile in fielding. His counting stats aren't going to measure up to JJ or Sal offensively, but he's come along really strong, especially in the second half. And if it wasn't for his really bad month and a half to start the year, he might have been in this conversation. I still put him a little bit below Weatherholt. Let's see what it says on reference for his WAR. Benj is at 2.4 WAR, so that's north of Stewart, but still 2 full WAR points of WAR below Weatherholt. So I think it still holds up as Weatherholt in the lead here. But Benj has been great, man. Benj has been a great find. Starting him off this year, letting him work through his adjustments, and I think he's got a chance to be like an all-star type player, or maybe even more for the Mets. So great draft pick there, and really benefited. He benefited a lot from this season. I think if everything went perfect for the Mets, I mean, who knows? He might have been sent down. It's early on in the year, or not made the team, or a lot of different things, but things did not go well, but it went well for him. So pretty good, pretty close. I don't care about F4 for positions, but for awards at least I don't care, because F4 tries to say what should have happened a lot of the time, especially on the pitcher side of things. So to me, it's not as important for awards. I care much more about what actually happened. But I hear you a little bit with the defensive F4 stuff. Keep dreaming, Jason. I would love it, but keep dreaming. Luckily, my boy Connor ain't in the mix. Yeah, because Connor hasn't been on the damn field. You know, it's been the biggest problem. Take away April from Rafi. He's having a normal year. I'm a Padres fan. It's great to see my team finally doing well. Tatis and Merrill have had a resurgence. That's been massive. The resurgence has been massive. Massive resurgence from Tatis. Will Kyle Tucker flip a switch? I would hope so, but so far he has not. Rumfield has a 2.9 WAR. Sal has 1.9. Yeah, Rumfield's another one too. We just talked about Senga a little while ago. On F-WAR, JJ has 3.1. Sal has 1.9. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Ryan Sloan. That's the one I wanted to watch. All right. Let me just figure out what team he's on. It's a whole nother issue. Coffee cups, prospects, pitchers. I think it was this one, Ryan Sloan. So Arkansas, is that still the Angels? Number 8th overall prospect, 5.2 innings, 9 Ks. Be curious to watch that. Let me see if he's an Angels prospect. I think so. This is gonna be our last guy. I got lunch sitting outside, so I want to go eat that, and then get the rest of my day going. Angels. No, this is not him. Who did they switch to? Oh, let me just go to top 100 then. What am I doing? Mariners. Ryan Sloan. So, wow, Ryan Sloan and Cade Anderson. Here is the grades on Ryan Sloan. I didn't realize that they had changed affiliates. 20 years old, righty, 6'5", 220, so same size as me. 60 fastball, 55 changeup, 60 changeup, 55 control. This is a great scouting grades. So they signed him for $3 million in 2024. All 3 of Sloan's pitches have been effective during his climb up the Mariners ladder. Upper 90s with his fastball, sitting more 95, 96, showing he can feature right in the zone. Cut in on lefties, either in sink to get ground balls. 2 secondary offerings, at least flash plus, with a hard fading and sinking kick changeup and nasty slider. So they're basically saying his stuff is gross. And this is why he's rated so highly, because he got everything is a positive. You don't usually see positives when you look at this stuff. Here's his numbers as a 20-year-old in Double-A. 18 starts, 3.75 ERA, 81 2/3, 100 Ks, 14 walks. God, that's really good. That is really good. Holy cow. So his last start was this one, August 15th, Arkansas versus Tulsa. August 15th, Arkansas versus Tulsa. All right, I got to go into my apps here. Oh, yeah, Will Dion, I hear you. Remind me in a minute, please. I just got to put you guys on the solo to log in real quick to my account here. Don't want anybody stealing my password. All right, we're back in. All right, so what was that on the 15th in Double-A? Tulsa and Arkansas. Here it is. All right, here he is. Well, this was a great matchup. Zazueta, who we've watched, is the Dodgers' big pitching prospect, versus Ryan Sloan. So anyway, let's go through Ryan Sloan's decision pitches really quick. This will be a little bit of a speed watch, but you'll get the idea. All right, here he is. First batter of the game. Base hit on a sinker going the other way. No velo on any of this either. Sometimes you watch the minor league video. It's pretty funny. And then Josue De Paula. This is the Dodgers' top prospect. He's going to hit into a double play here on a breaking ball, maybe a cutter or something. So gets the double play there, erases that. Next up is Elijah Hainline. And he's going to get him on a ground out. Great play by the shortstop. My God. Outstanding play by Mariner Double-A shortstop here. Spinning, twirling, whirling, And that's the end of the first inning. So a couple contacts there. Second inning, he's going to strike out Jake Geloff to lead it off. Ooh, curveball. Banger. Very nice. Strikeout there. Here comes Logan Wagner. He's going to get him looking on a curveball. So curveball looks pretty sharp right there. That's a nice pitch. Nice pitch there. And then we got a single here. Cole Myers. You faced Sloan in high school. Nasty or what? That's a fastball. A little go the other way with it. Base hit. And then he's going to end the second inning here. Getting Frank Rodriguez. What's up, Frank? To chop one back to the mound. Nice play. So 2 innings. This is a big dude. Big legs. Prototypical pitcher's build. All right, third inning. Going to start off with 2 strikeouts. Let's see if it's more curveballs. Yep, there's one. Curveball looking. See you later. Joe Izara also called out on strikes. Probably a curveball. 6 up, 6 down, up to 99. Slider was special. That looked like a very fast heater for a freeze there. Away. So punches the first 2 guys in the third. Then he's going to ground out here. Little jammer. That might have been a sinker. Nice play at short. All right, we go to the 4th. DePaula is going to start it off with a hit. Top Dodgers prospect. Ground ball through the right side. Base hit to lead it off. That is going to bring up Hainline, who's going to get a hit on a bunt. Perfect bunt. Wow. Very nice. Put it in your pocket. First and second. Nobody out here in the 4th. Now he's going to have to strike his way out of it, which he does. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout coming here. Here's the first one. Backdoor fastball, paint. That was nasty. Now Logan Wagner. I think he got him with a curveball the first time. There's that changeup. I was waiting on the changeup. That was nasty. Ew. Now I see why he's rated so highly. Man, look at the Mariners just with 2 of the top 10 prospects in the game, both being starting pitchers. That's disgusting. That was nasty. And then Cole Myers, also going to strike out. So he punches his way out. I'm getting that call in right here. Very important call, so I got to pause you guys. Sorry, guys. All right, off the call. I want to see this pitch one more time. Ugh, because now I forgot about it. So he punches his way out of this inning. Really nasty curveball and changeup are obvious. It looks like he's got good velocity. So I'm seeing it. I'm understanding and plus he's got the prototypical build. I'm understanding why he's now leapfrogged a lot of people in terms of prospect status. All right, Sloan in the 5th. Frank Rodriguez is going to be called out on strikes here as it's suddenly nighttime. That looked like the slider. His stuff looks really sharp. Really sharp. All right, here's a home run. So here's him getting clipped by a lefty. 0-1 count. It's on the changeup. That changeup never got to the right axis. He kept it hung up a little bit. And that's a bomb over the batter's eye in Tulsa. So there's a little bit of a poor thing right there. Here's Jose Izarra. Ground ball kicked off the foot, chopped to second. Nothing really to see there. Then we got a walk, which I'm not going to watch, and then a ground out. So 1 walk on the outing. And now a 1-2 count to DePaula. There is, I think, a changeup or a slider, one of the two. Grounded out. And then we have one more inning, 6th inning. Hainline, who got a hit on a bunt earlier. Elijah. Curveball rolled to 3rd. Nice play there. And then we've got Jake Geloff called out on strikes. This might be his last batter. Curveball. Man, a lot of takes on curveballs. Ton of takes on curveballs in this outing. Yeah, that's it. So they take him out after that. I get why he's rated so highly. I mean, I'd like to watch him more often, but that's literally the number 3 pitching prospect in baseball. Right now, it's Cade Anderson, Seth Hernandez, who everybody knows I love, and Ryan Sloan. And then the next one is pretty far down the list. The next pitcher is Gage Wood. Jackson Flora and Gage Wood are both in the 30s on the list here. So pretty impressive right there. Pretty impressive stuff right there. All right. There was one more player, and I did not forget. His name is Dion. Will Dion, yes. J-Dog, appreciate it. He's on the Nats, right? So let me hop into Will Dion, and then that's going to be it. Here is Will Dion, left-handed pitcher for the Nationals. So, all right, I was told that his fastball shape was incredible, and you can see it right here. 20 inches of rise. Yes, he's got the high release, so that makes sense, but 0. So it's a dead pin straight, super rise, high arm angle fastball at about 91.3. From a lefty, this is an abnormal pitch, so definitely a very good pitch to look at. 5'10" also, so maybe the height helps him too, because maybe it's a little bit of a lower release height than you would expect from that arm angle is my guess. But in the small sample, he's been pretty damn good. This last game, 4 1/3 versus the Mets, 7 strikeouts. Holy shit. What was the player breakdown on that? 33 heaters, 22 changeups, 5 cutters, 4 curveballs. 71% first pitch strike, 2 hard hits on fastballs. All right, so this was Mets-Nats. Mets-Nats. Dion. Let's watch it. All right, we'll watch it. 7 punchies. All right, comes in bases loaded to face Jorge Polanco. Curveball down, ball. There's that fastball at 21 inches of vert. Holy cow. He reminds me a lot of Tim Collins. You guys ever seen Tim Collins pitch back in the day for the Royals? Short lefty, way over the top arm slot. Now, Tim could throw up to 95. But there's a little bit of Caleb Thielbar in here, a little bit of certainly Tim Collins. Also a little bit of James Karinchak, but lefty. Literally a James Karinchak delivery. The exact same delivery as James Karinchak. Anyway, he's going to punch him with the changeup. Disgusting changeup. Really slow changeup. So, huge separation on the changeup, about 12 miles an hour. Sells it pretty good with the intent. And that's a big punch out of Polanco. All right, let's just go result pitches here because I'm pretty tired. All right, second inning. Strikes out Alvarez with a changeup. Nasty. Here's an in-play out on a fastball to Ewing. Pop-up. That's going to be his game, is pop-ups. 21 inches of vert all day long. Pop-ups. 2 outs there, and then a strikeout on a fastball of Lindor, probably high. Yep, up and away, swing through, so dominates Lindor. Lindor did not appreciate his happiness jumping off the mound, I don't think. Now Bichette, going to get him with a changeup. I mean, the Karinchak delivery is literally identical. His delivery mimicked Kershaw's entire career in Cleveland, changed his motion last year to Karinchak. 100% Karinchak. Right? You guys seeing that? Yeah. I just did a whole write-up on him. He drops his arm slot 10 degrees on his cutter or sinker to try to create arm side. Let's see if I can identify that. If we get a cutter or sinker, I'll definitely look at it. Here's a cutter. Let's see it. That still looked pretty high, interestingly. He's going to punch out Benj here with the high heater. I mean, the fastball is definitely going to play. It's a weird shape. All right, I'm looking for another sinker or cutter here. Nope, okay. Four-seam, another strikeout of Cole Young. I mean, Jared Young. Doors. His fastball at the top is really pretty impressive. All right, cutter, let's see the drop down. It's hard to tell, man. Really hard to tell. Anyway, this is a walk. 3-1 changeup. Yeah. All right, in-play outs here on a fastball to Beatty. Pop up again. I mean, this guy's useful as shit. It's tough to hit. This is another example of like angles and pitch packages being, you know, almost, you know, an alternate way than just throwing hard. Change up way out front there on Polanco, pops him up, so he's gotten Polanco out twice, and he's going to strike out Alfie for the second time. Fastball up, nowhere near that. This is a dominating outing. All right, here's Ewing again. This is probably the best swing we've seen. Ends up getting run down by Jacob Young. That's Jacob Young, I believe. 1-2, four-seam, probably a pop-up here. Yep, another pop-up. Lindor, infield pop-up. Infield pop-ups are as good as strikeouts. And another out on a changeup. He was shoving in this game. Not a good location, but he had Bichette out front enough where he got it off the end. Only hit at 87, so another weak fly out. That was a dominating outing. Thanks for having me watch that guy. That was interesting. Will Dion, man. McNeese State, 26-year-old, 9th rounder in 2021 by the Indians. Good find for the Nats here. Really weird shapes on these pitches. You know, it's definitely a fastball changeup attack with a little bit of curveball, but man, that fastball is crazy. Averages 20 inches of vert. That's, no matter how you slice it, that's really impressive. So good job by the Nats and this Will Dion guy, and that was a great outing. That was pretty damn impressive. All right, we're gonna wrap the stream up. You got to find his old delivery if possible. Big leg kick with the pause and everything. Tiny Tim Collins was discovered by accident when a scout went to look at a different pitcher in an American Legion game. Legend. Big original OG Cressy guy too. Tim Collins. Looks like Ballmer and the Clippers are getting off scot-free. That makes me want to throw up. It's the problem with the cap system. One of the problems. All right, we're all done. Let's just do probables. This has been a long stream, over 3 hours. We'll be back tomorrow on the stream to keep it rocking. Here are the games today. This game has starting right now or in about 30 minutes. Cardinals at Reds. Quinn Matthews, who I haven't watched pitch yet on the stream, but he's a rookie with a lot of strikeouts and walks, versus Kent Emanuel. They have a doubleheader. Palante and Rhett Lauder will pitch the night game. Orioles, Rays, Brandon Young, Shane McClanahan. It's a big series right here. Well, big last game of the series. It's the wraparound. Rays need a win. Marlins, Phillies, Jansen Jung, Christopher Sanchez. Tigers, Pirates, Framber Valdez, and Carmen Majinski. Diamondbacks, Red Sox, Mitch Bratt. Alec Gamboa is going to open with Bayo to follow. But Red Sox need to get back on the horse again a little bit too. Padres, Mets, Walker Buehler, Nolan McLean. A's, Royals, Barnett, and Waka. Braves, Twins, Martin Perez, who's been great, and Bailey Ober. White Sox, Cubs. I've been talking about this. This is a fun little rivalry that we're getting this week. Castillo and Shota Imanaga. Castillo pitched great his last start. Dodgers, Rockies, Snell, who came back last time and was great, in Colorado versus the Rockies. That should be an interesting game. Dodgers looking to bounce back. Coors, anything can happen. Snell, second game off the IL. So that's it. Long stream. Appreciate you guys. Would love if you guys would throw me some subs, like and subscribe. Come on over to the YouTube channel, watch some vlogs, etc., etc. Anyway, I do appreciate all the support as of late. You guys are the best, and I'll see you on the stream tomorrow. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.